Alrighty, good evening and happy Thursday as we welcome you into Unioto High School for a Thursday night SVC matchup between the Unioto Shermans and the Adena Warriors. Alongside Shane Combs, my name is Dewey Daly as we welcome you into tonight's broadcast. Shane, glad to have you back on the call here.
Excited to be back. We knew we'd be in for an incredible atmosphere here tonight, and it's certainly filling up quickly. And two really good volleyball teams. I know we enjoyed it earlier in the year. I don't see why tonight shouldn't be another really good one.
Now, we obviously had this matchup earlier on this season. It was a straight set win for Adena over Unioto, but since that matchup, neither team has lost. Adena still unbeaten on the season, 14-0. Unioto 13-2. Obviously, they lost on opening night to Logan Elm, and then that loss to Adena, but they're unbeaten since that last loss to Adena.
Well, looking back at my notes for before that match, in preparation for tonight's match, one of the things I highlighted then was if you were going to get one of these teams, you needed to get them early. We watched Adena on opening day, and they weren't what I would call real efficient in a win over South Webster. But they really bounced back against Unioto and played a really clean match. I thought they played really well. Unioto, I felt, was a little bit of the same formula. They're going through some different lineup changes from a year ago. People stepping into some bigger roles and so forth, and they kind of mixed some seniors and some sophomores together. And I felt like they, too, were going to be a team that had their best volleyball ahead. Remember, they lose on opening night, as you just said, to Logan Elm, then they lose to the good Adena team. But since then, they've been tested, but they've certainly been able to come through it all. And I think as a result, we get two teams here tonight that are ready to play really well on a big stage.
Yeah, the Shermans are 28-3 in sets played since that loss to Adena, so they've been hot since that loss earlier on this season. Now, here tonight for the Adena Warriors, we know we're going to get a heavy dose of Katie Burns, and since we last saw her, she recorded her 1,000th assist, the first time that has happened in the Adena program.
Yeah, the 1,000 kills is a phenomenal stat. I mean, it really is. And then when you consider that the history of the Adena program, when you're first on just about any list in that program, that means it's pretty good. She's terrific. We know that she can really dominate the match in different ways, most notably across the three rotations offensively at the net. So that'll certainly be a factor tonight, as it always is in Adena's matches.
Now, for Unioto, in terms of attacking, it's more of an evenly distributed split. We know we're going to get a lot of Zoe Detweiler. We know we're going to get a lot of Charlotte Dennis, but there are some others that contribute as well.
Well, and that's probably at the top of my list of keys. I mean, this is something, Unioto has the depth to go toe-to-toe with Adena and to beat them. But in order to do so, they're going to have to get production up and down the net in all six rotations because, as you say, obviously Detweiler and Dennis are really talented, but they'll stretch it out and they'll get some net production from White and Patterson and Watson, and even Grubbs as a freshman has come in and hit some strong side for him. So, the sophomore setter, Kinsley Batson's going to have a lot of options up and down the net, and if she's able to spread the wealth, I think that depth can be a big factor for Unioto.
And we mentioned Adena 14-0 and unbeaten 7-0 in conference play, and they've been about as dominant as you can be at 14-0. They're 36-3 in sets played. We saw them drop a set to South Webster in their opener. They've also lost sets to Zane Trace and Minster, but they haven't dropped a set in the month of September.
Well, they've been really sharp. Like I said, on opening day, I didn't think they played real clean or real efficiently. And then just a couple nights later when we watched them against Unioto, man, they really played well that night. And they did. They started to get rolling, and they've been so efficient in the service game, both on their serving and their serve receive. And they just present quite a challenge. We know how good they are defensively, but there's a lot of kids at the net that do a good job defensively, like a Wise Cup and a Glandon and a Lee Master. And that makes life on Dalton and Smith there in the back row that much easier. So then you throw in the great setter play of Sowers and Bossert, and you've got a formula that's pretty efficient, and it's worked well for Adena so far.
Now, Adena, going back to last season, has won each of the last three meetings over Unioto. Two of those wins came in straight sets, but both of those were in Frankfurt. when you go back to last season, that first matchup here at Unioto, that one went to 5.
Well, and again, we talked about this earlier in the year when we did these two teams. You know, Unioto, the kids have grown up and they've had a little bit of success in terms of being able to go toe-to-toe with Adena. I think that's a big factor. A lot of times, Adena's volleyball program, the tradition, and they're used to winning. Well, teams are used to getting beat by them. You know what I mean? But with Unioto, I think that there's some kids here that will come into the match with some confidence and feel like that they're capable of playing with them. And you can't say that for a lot of SVC teams. So I think that helps Unioto a little bit.
We'll go ahead and take our first break here on the pregame show. It's Unioto and Adena. A little under 4 minutes until first serve here in Frenchtown. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Back here at Unioto High School for a Thursday night SVC matchup between the Shermans and the Adena Warriors. Shane Combs along with Dewey Daly bringing you tonight's coverage of what should be an outstanding conference matchup between the Warriors and Shermans. And as of now, it looks like it's going to be an outstanding crowd. Now, obviously, the size of the gym here at Unioto contributes to the atmosphere a little bit, but still, it's a packed house, and it should be a great night of volleyball.
Well, that's been a topic of discussion here at Unioto for quite some time, over the years with the possibility of getting a new gym, but at the same time, you're right. The older style gym, the one thing it still keeps in play is that incredible atmosphere where you can pack the house, and you look around here tonight, there's not a whole lot of empty seats. And you know as well as I do, when these two good teams start playing a high level of volleyball, this place is going to get juiced up a little bit.
And you mentioned playing high level volleyball. The JV match here tonight goes to 3 sets. It's, I think, the 5th consecutive time we've had a pre-varsity match go to 5 sets, and that really just goes to show that these two programs, in terms of dominance, it's not going anywhere.
Well, I think that's a mandatory thing when Sosa travels, right? We have to see that. In all seriousness, what you're saying is true. When you get these elite varsity teams, what that means is you got a lot of young ladies at the JV level that are waiting their turn. They can play a little bit, and I enjoyed the competition there. That 3rd set got really tight and certainly fun to watch.
And I think that's something we've talked about over the last few broadcasts, is when you have those high-level players that are staying in the program at the JV level, wanting to play at that school, waiting their turn. It says a lot about the program.
It does, and it makes it even more amazing when you see some of these milestones at these types of programs, because a lot of times the reason you don't see as many of the career numbers in programs like this is because they are waiting their turn their freshman or sophomore year, or maybe their particular role doesn't come along that they really want to shine in until maybe even their senior year. So, you're certainly right. The depth of these programs, and that shows up there in that JV match.
Coming into tonight and going back to last season, Adena has rattled off 27 consecutive regular season wins, and we mentioned Unioto hasn't lost since that loss to Adena earlier on this season. They also haven't lost a match that they've won at least 1 set in, as both of their losses came in straight sets. Obviously the loss to Adena, but then the home opener to Logan Elm earlier this year as well.
Well, Unioto's battle tested. I mean, they had the 5-set win against Southwestern, the 5-set win against Chillicothe. They're coming off a 5-set win with Westfall. I watched I got a chance to see the film of their Huntington match, and they looked really good the first 2 sets. All of a sudden they drop a 3rd set, and they were on the ropes in the 4th one. So I would say a big thing for Unioto is just finding that consistency from start to finish to make sure that they can play at a high level, because against Adena, you don't have time to go on one of those 7-8 point stretches where you let it get away.
All righty, the national anthem coming up here at Unioto. We'll take our final break. First serve when we return to Unioto High School. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmares dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Alrighty, we welcome you back here to Unioto High School's lineups are introduced, and we're just moments away from first serve here in tonight's South Valley Conference matchup between the Unioto Shermans and the Adena Warriors. Dewey Daly and Shane Combs along with you tonight. Shane, we should be in for a good one.
Yeah, I really think so. Pay close attention to the start of each point. I think it's going to be a big factor in the match. What I mean by that is the serving of Adena as well as the serve receive of Adena. They do such a good job in efficiency. They mix some tough serving with some good efficiency. Now, Unioto has the ability to do the same thing, but there's been times where Unioto's efficiency's gotten away from them a little bit. The ability for Unioto to get in system is going to allow them to spread the ball up and down the net, which I think is a really big factor, as I talked about there in our first segment of our pre-match coverage.
14-0 Adena, 13-2 Unioto. Both teams are unbeaten since their last meeting back on August 26th. The top two teams in the South Valley Conference after the first half of conference play.
Dewey, I'd also say here early on, this type of atmosphere can really get you juiced up a little bit. As I said earlier, let's pay attention to some of those adrenaline mistakes early.
Stanley serves it away, and we're rocking and rolling from Unioto. An overpass from Adena now. Back to the Warriors now. Down the middle, Katie Burns, a soft touch. Dug up by Puckett. Near side, Patterson swinging away. That's dug up in the back row by Dalton. Now a free ball over by Burns. Back to the Shermans now. Batson goes backside. Down the line, it's Watson. Dug up by Smith in the back row. It'll be a free ball once again for the Warriors. Bump set Batson near side. It's Patterson into the back row, and another dig for Smith. Here's Burns down the middle. Dug up in the back row by Stanley. Off the rafters, and free ball back over to Adena. Sowers to Burns off the Unioto block. Kept alive by the Sherman. Near side, Patterson. Another dig for the Warriors. Far side, it's Wisecup swinging away. Now Patterson near side, she's blocked, but a nice play by Puckett to keep it alive. And the Shermans are unable to get it over on the free ball.
Well, right off the bat, if you didn't believe us that we were in for an incredible night of volleyball, how about that first point there? Some back and forth, outstanding defense on both sides, good effort. What a start to the match.
Long rally to begin tonight. Now the junior Kimmy Dalton serves it away and over the back line. We're tied up at 1.
Yes, early air. That's one of the few Lady Warriors that will fight the efficiency, about 90%, but she does have 34 aces on the year, so that's what you balance with her risk-reward serve.
Now the senior Ellie DuPois serves it away. Sowers tight to the net, and a free ball sent over by Wisecup. Batson comes to Patterson near side. She is blocked. And a violation against Unioto will make it a 2-1 lead for Adena.
Yeah, the up official didn't have a touch there, so then when it comes back, it results in the fourth touch.
Rowdy crowd tonight at Unioto. Allie Bossert back to serve for the Warriors. Batson comes near side. Here's Detweiler swinging away, but attacking there against Unioto. The Shermans wanting the tip, but they're not going to get it. It's 3-1 Adena.
Yeah, good attack on the outside for Detweiler, just over top of the block. Up official didn't have a touch.
Batson front setting to the outside for Detweiler. She's blocked by Burns. Back to the Warriors now. It's Burns out of the middle, dug up by Stanley in the back row. Bump set from Batson to Patterson near side. That one's kept alive by J.C. Smith. Here's Burns swinging away, but an attacking error for the senior.
Yeah, the block did a real good job of getting on that shoulder. She tried to come a little bit of a cut shot in our direction there, and it just sails a little long. Good job of the Unioto block just to be present here early on.
Now Patterson serves it away for Unioto. Bossert goes backside. Here's Burns swinging away. It's kept alive by Stanley. Now Kayla White back over to the Warriors now. Over on the second touch for Bossert. Now out of the middle. It's Zoe Detweiler who tools the block for the kill.
Yeah, big time play from Alyssa Stanley there. on a big swing from Burns. That's the type of play you have to have as Burns comes across the front row, just to kind of limit her success the best you can. Great job by the senior libero.
3-3 tie here in the first. Bossert goes to the outside. Katie Burns is blocked up top by Detweiler.
Yeah, just a big time. I said it a second ago. Just a good job of the Unioto block being present. You've got to be able to put 4 hands up there with some double block opportunities, and Unioto's been sound so far.
Detweiler's team high 40th block of the season. On the outside, J.C. Jones, her first swing of the night. Now the Shermans, it's White swinging away, dug up in the back row by Dalton. On the outside, it's Jones again, Stanley the ding. Bats into White on the outside, she's blocked up top. Back to the Shermans now, it's White again. She floats it over to the Warriors. On the second touch, it's Caroline Glandon for the kill.
Yeah, Glandon does such a good job defensively there. She's playing that opposite side, which means she's going to block the strong side attack of Unioto, and she does such a good job of getting the hands turned in, and there she makes an offensive play for a point.
Katie Burns to serve for the Warriors. And a pre-serve whistle, they'll give the point to Unioto.
Looks like someone might have left early out of rotation spot. Coach Smith going to get an explanation here.
A lot of the points here in the early first set have more or less just been who commits the first error. Steady defense on both sides of the net so far.
Now getting the explanation over there. I did not see who or what they had signaled. Maybe take a look at how they have it recorded there. But yeah, early on, just the energy in here. We've had some great rallies already, and you can feel the energy. I think some of the volleyball will improve in terms of cleaning it up and being a little bit more efficient. But right now, both teams obviously going to be jacked up a little bit with what's on the line here tonight. And it just takes a little bit to settle into the match sometimes.
I don't know if we've had a crowd to this caliber so far this year, and we've had some rowdy ones, especially
I would say maybe
ago.
Down there at Gallia, if that Wheelersburg match would be one I would compare this to a little bit.
And that was non-conference.
Yeah.
Just two high caliber programs. I believe that was a Thursday night as well.
Yeah, you can go back on SOSA there on the YouTube page too. Like if you love volleyball, that week when we had Logan Elm Circleville and Gallia, Wheelersburg, you really owe it to yourself to go back and just turn those on one night and enjoy some volleyball.
Something you turn on in the background, but that ends up being the main thing you're doing.
There's no question.
So after the pause, it's on the scoreboard here, 5-3 Unioto. I believe it should be 5-4. The far side judge is still at the scores table, so you got to figure this point probably not going to count. But both teams are just going to keep playing, and I think, Shane, they're going to let it go. Burns to the near side, and no, now the near side official will say no point. As the serve started, the far side official was still at the scores table. Now she'll go back. I believe, Shane, it should be 5-4 Adena, or excuse me, 5-4 Unioto. The scoreboard here reads 6-3 Unioto.
Well, I think that they were questioning if they had the score in the rotations correct. Well, they put the ball in play. So now they're going to go back and replay that one, and Burns had found the little hole there on the tip. So everybody's a little bit confused. We're going to hit the reset button here, and it's going to be,
so I assume 5-3.
I assume it's going to be 5-3 where they must have had the rotation, that violation earlier. There must have been that's all squared away now, and the point came off the board.
So after all of that, it's 5-3 Unioto leading Adena. Free ball over by J.C. Jones. Bump set from Batson to White near side. She's blocked by Burns. Nice play from DuPuy to keep it alive, and a free ball over by Unioto. Bossert goes to Burns inside. Doesn't get the kill, but spikes it down on the overpass. It's 5-4.
Yeah, big time effort from Katie Burns there. But again, I like Unioto and defensively up to the challenge. Anytime you can see, because look, it's kind of like the great score in basketball. You're not going to stop Burns. You just got to contain her a little bit. So if she's seeing the block, we've seen 2 or 3 back row players make some outstanding plays. so far I like Unioto the way they've challenged her.
Overpass for Unioto on the second touch on the outside. Here's Smith, her first swing tonight, and a diving effort from Stanley to keep it alive. White swinging away, and she gets the kill.
Really like the effort of Stanley here in the early going, and then White on the outside. I love when the strong side hitter gets out there and gets that angle and able to tool the block. So difficult for the block to get those hands turned in when you're coming from that wide angle.
Detweiler long serve for Unioto brings Adena back within one.
Again, that could be a factor sometimes for Unioto, just something they have to. You don't want to lose your aggressiveness. You know, Unioto comes in with 128 aces on the year, but they also have the 85 errors, right around the 92.5%. When they've served it up around 92, 93, 94, they've been successful. That starts dropping in the 89, 90 range. It's not going to be a recipe for success here tonight.
The junior Ava Farrell back to serve for Adena. Batson goes to the outside. Here's Dennis. Soft touch, a nice play by the Warriors, and they send it over on the free ball. On the outside, a roll shot from White. Now Bossert inside. It's Jones for the kill.
Talked about J.C. Jones, the sophomore, on overtime this week with John Bruce, how she was one of the real breakout stars, up to about 2.5 kills per set.
Bump set on the outside, down the line, it's White, another kill. Kayla White, so far being an impact player here in the first.
Yeah, I like the decision there from Batson. She recognizes White's got a little bit of energy here early on. She had the good swing on the outside. That time, first ball over, she's hitting opposite, and a good back set, good choice from Batson.
Set from Jones to the back row, it's Burns into the net. It's 8-6 Unioto.
Yeah, don't hate the choice to use Burns in the back row off of that. That all started, though, with a little bit of a miscue on the serve receive.
Another serve from Batson. This one is into the net. Some of that risk reward you mentioned.
Yeah, it really is, because the serve before kind of forced Adena into the back row attack. Then that time with the air. So, but again, I'll give kids a little bit of a pass this first time through, because it's just a matter of settling into the atmosphere a little bit. This place has got a little juice to it tonight.
Batson goes to the outside. Here's Dennis down the line off the tape. 8-all here in the first.
Even though I don't think she got the hand on, I think it was a hitting error. Give Weisskopf a lot of credit getting up there and showing the block.
Batson goes backside to White. Rolls it over the Warriors. Here's Sowers. Lee Master inside for the kill.
Yeah, Sowers can really get it going with the serve. Serves it up around 96, 97%, but also is 4-1 in terms of aces to error ratio.
Another serve from Sowers. This one's long to the back line, and we're tied up once again.
Yeah, only the 5th error of the year on her. That's uncharacteristic.
Nine tie here in the first. Kylie Puckett serves it away. Bump set from Sowers isn't there. Too tight to the net. Tough serve from the sophomore Kylie Puckett.
Yeah, and it is, and usually a staple of Adena. So far tonight, serve receive, not necessarily just pure errors, but certainly not passing on target.
And Shane, that's something we saw in that first set for the Warriors against South Webster all the way back in early August, as the Warriors tie it up at 10 apiece.
Yeah, Lee Master with a nice spark across the front row here. A couple kills, ties it at 10. That's that efficient production get from the role players for the Two Shade Blue.
On the outside, here's Dennis swinging away. A nice dig for J.C. Smith. Now Burns, a soft touch down the middle. It's kept alive by Unioto. It'll be a free ball sent over by Watson. Sowers keeps it inside for Burns. Nearly sticks it in. A dig from Stanley near side. It'll be a roll shot by Patterson into the back row. Sowers goes back to Burns down the middle, but she's unable to keep it between the lines, and it's 11-10.
Pretty good sequence from Sowers there, and then on that final attack, her and Burns just not quite on the same page, but again, aggressive swings from Burns here early on. She's just got to settle in and find her spots.
The serve from Stanley's into the net. Back to the Warriors. We're tied at 11.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 errors in the service game already for Unioto.
Now Kimmy Dalton back to the line. She leads the Warriors with 41 aces on the season. She had 7 against Southeastern this past Tuesday. Bump set from Batson on the outside. Watson's unable to get it up over the net. 1 point advantage now for Adena.
Again, the fact that Glandon's where she's supposed to be, same as Wise Cup earlier, you don't always get the block, but just you showing it kind of almost forces the error.
Batson keeps it in the middle. Burns and Detweiler, a jousting match as it falls to the Sherman side, but a block up top for Burns. Glandon there as well. It's 13-11, Warriors leading.
Yeah, great defensive effort from Burns, and that's what makes her so special. Even when she gets off to the tough start on the offensive side, she can impact the match in a lot of different ways, and certainly defensively at the net's one of them.
Tight serve from Dalton. It's into the net. Back to the Shermans. They trail by 1.
It's her second error. We'll see how that works on her as the night goes on. You can't lose your confidence there. Got to continue to stay aggressive if that's what your particular role is.
Sowers rushing over, able to keep it alive momentarily, and the free ball gets over from Smith. Batson to Detweiler down the middle. Overpass doesn't get there, and Detweiler gets the kill.
Yeah, I love the quick action in the middle. Adena was a little out of system, and they were trying to get back into their defensive rotation. Batson and Detweiler go quick in the middle, and as a result, get the kill.
The senior Ellie DuPois serves it away. Sowers goes backside on the outside. It's Burns, but another attacking error for the senior, and Unioto takes a 1 point lead.
You know, I think a lot of it is early on. Remember what I said, Unioto getting the block at the net, the back row able to dig some up, and what that does is it puts just a little bit more pressure on the hitter to try to do too much.
Sowers goes to the outside. Burns pushes it over on the free ball. Bats it on the second touch. Sowers is there for the dig. Now Wise Cup to Burns. Overpass from Unioto flies out of bounds, and we're tied at 14.
And that's where Burns just has to keep swinging away. Even DuPois was there, tried to make a good play on it, but if you're Burns, you just got to stay aggressive and hit your spots. It's kind of like a fastball pitcher. You know, when the guy keeps fouling it off, you have a tendency to try to overthrow it and throw it too hard.
Bump set from Batson on the outside, and Detweiler over on the free ball. Bump set from Bossert inside. It's Burns back over to Unioto, and it'll fall in for the kill.
Really good play there from Bossert.
Bossert takes some tempo off of it. It's an overpass from Unioto. Now down the middle, Katie Burns gets the kill.
Great adjustment from Burns. That's a ball she had hit out of bounds wide earlier. That time just gets a better feel for it. She anticipates the block, taking the middle away, and she kind of comes to the outside of that little cut shot.
Warriors have got some fire behind the Bossert serve. Here's Detweiler swinging away, dug up by Dalton in the back row. Far side, it's Jones with the attacking error. The Shermans back within 1.
Yeah, really anybody's set. Very competitive here opening set, and if you're Unioto, you just got to clean up the service game a little bit and you're in position.
Bossert goes backside on the outside. Katie Burns, an overpass from DuPois, spiked right back down off the Unioto, blocked by Katie Burns.
Yeah, really good awareness from Unioto. A lot of teams don't scout that very well when she's coming out of that opposite side on the first ball over. But I just love how Burns stays with the play. She's relentless and just continues to play the point all the way to the whistle.
Following the kill, Burns serves it away. Tight to the net, Batson over on the second touch. Inside, it's J.C. Jones on the attack, and a violation will award the point to Adena.
Here's one of these first danger times for Unioto. You're down 18-15. Burns is going to go to the back row. You get her off the service line here, and you're going to have some advantages at the net.
And an ace for Katie Burns just inside the back line. It's 19-15. And a timeout for Unioto.
And Dewey, just like I talked about, about 4 or 5 points ago, even with Burns with a little bit of a slow start offensively, she impacts the match in so many ways. You see it defensively with some of the blocks at the net. Now you see it with the ace. And just like that, Adena's opened up a 19-15 advantage. I really like the timeout on the Unioto side.
Is it a timeout, Shane? You felt like came just at the right time, maybe a little bit too late, maybe a little bit early?
I think it's about the right time. Like I said, Unioto's played really pretty well, other than some service mistakes here early on. But again, this is what Adena does to you. Remember, I talked in the pre-match coverage how Unioto has a tendency to let a 4, 5, 6 point swing kind of get away from them sometimes. And against some teams, it's what's cost them going the 4th or 5th set. Well, you do it against Adena, it'll just cost you that set immediately right there, and there may not be a 4th or 5th set to worry about.
So following the Unioto timeout, it'll be Katie Burns to serve. Adena leading Unioto 19-15 here in the first. Batson goes backside, inside. It's Zoe Detweiler on the kill.
Yeah, Detweiler, Batson on the same page here this evening here in the early going. That time they go quick action again. She kind of sneaks in behind her a little bit, and the block was just a half second late to adjust.
Bossart goes to Jones down the middle for the kill. Warriors the first to 20 here in the first.
Jones right on average. That's her 3rd kill on my unofficial stat sheet here. So anytime they're getting that production as Burns goes across the back row, that's outstanding offense from the sophomore Jones.
Stanley goes near side for Dennis, but unable to get a good touch on it, and it's 21-16.
Again, the mix of the different types of serve. Ava Farrell had a good efficient year on the service line, and she sends that one long, and that's really uncharacteristic for her. I believe she comes in about 99%. I think on my stat sheet that's only her 2nd error of the year. Maybe I need to stop talking about it. Maybe I'm jinxing everybody.
Bossart keeps it inside for Jones. Another kill, her 4th in the set.
Unioto defensively not getting the same resistance at the net. When Burns is up there, she obviously is drawing a lot of attention. I see a conscious effort to get a block up. Jones getting way too many open opportunities at the net. They've got to get a block there on time.
Batson comes to Dennis near side. She is blocked. Back over to Unioto, but it falls outside the line, so Dennis gets the kill.
Yeah, big swing for Dennis. Dennis had a big match over there at Adena. That's her 1st kill tonight. Unioto went about their rotation slightly different over there, if I remember correctly.
On the outside, Weiskamp will push it over with 2. Batson goes back to Dennis, this time down the lane, kept alive momentarily by the Warriors, but it'll eventually fall in. Sherman's back within 3. It's 22-19.
Yeah, good answer from Unioto, still in the set. They got to go right now. Opponent sitting on 22.
And a service error for Unioto.
And I think that's at least 4 serving errors.
Here's J.C. Smith to serve. Batson keeps it inside for Watson, who gets the kill.
Watson coming out of the middle there on that attack, and the ball's out in front a little bit. Nice adjustment. little bit of a tip tool, if you will, off the block there, and they cut it to 3.
Both teams to 20 in this set. That happened twice in the first meeting between these two back in Frankfurt. Back over to Unioto now. It's Batson to Detweiler down the middle. Out of the back row, the free ball gets over the tape. Athletic play defensively by the Warriors, who will come away with the point. 24-20 here in the first. Set point for Adena.
Really high IQ adjustment there from Katie Burns. Batson and Detweiler have been going really quick in the middle. That time Burns picks her pace up a little bit. She's there to meet it, and then the block puts Unioto on the doorstep of the first set win.
24-20, Adena leading. Here's Kimmy Dalton to serve. Batson to Detweiler, inside, a hitting error for Unioto, and the Warriors take the first. 25-20 final here in the opening set tonight. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Back here at Unioto High School, the Adena Warriors taking the first set over Unioto by a final of 25-20. Believe it or not, that was the exact same score of the first set of their last meeting. It went 25-20 as well. In the second set, went 26-24. So hopefully that's what in store for us here tonight.
Very competitive volleyball. I felt like the first, probably 20 points of the match were kind of just kids relaxing into the atmosphere a little bit. We were tied right around 10-10. And then as you got going, it was Adena right there in the middle of the set, as they do so often. I think we were right around a 15-14, 16-14 type thing, and then all of a sudden they stretch out, get to 18-15, 19-15, and Unioto tried to use some timeouts to stop the bleeding, but it's what Unioto has got to be able to withstand is some of those little mini spurts from Adena, and the Lady Warriors are able to use that to take control of the first set.
I think early on it was a lot of errors for Adena that ultimately kept Unioto around, but once Adena started to clean it up a little bit, we started to see them pull away towards the back end of the set.
Felt like you had to credit Unioto for some of those mistakes, though. I thought they did a really good job on Burns the first couple times through the front row. A lot of hands up there in terms of blocks. I thought the back row did a real good job of hanging in there and trying to dig a few up. Stanley and company was really good, but as all great players do, Burns makes the adjustments. She settles into the match a little bit. She impacts it as a defender, as a server, and then the offense came on late.
So set 2 underway off the serve of J.C. Smith. Bump set from Batson near side. It's Grubbs. Now Sowers to Wisecup on the outside. She's blocked, but it falls on the Unioto side for the first kill of the set.
Well, and that's another thing Adena's getting there in the first set. Jones with 4 and Burns with 5, but they also got kills from Glandon, a couple from Leemaster, now Wisecup into the column.
Service error for J.C. Smith. Sowers goes backside, a soft touch from Burns. That one's dug up by Grubbs. Free ball over by White, nearly falls in and nearly goes over the net. Instead, it'll be Burns with the right hand. Nice play by Stanley to keep it alive for Unioto. Sowers goes to Burns. Nice play to keep it alive from Puckett. Free ball over by Detweiler. Back to the Warriors now. Sowers to Burns inside for the kill.
Man, that's what Adena does to you. They keep coming at you, forcing the free ball. They get about 3 or 4 in a row, and then finally you give Burns that many swings, she's going to convert. Unioto's going to the freshman Grubbs here on the outside here in set 2. That's one lineup change.
Batson goes to the outside. Corey Grubbs into the back row, and an attacking error for the freshman.
Yeah, watching Grubbs, tough spot to come off the bench here in this atmosphere and swing. She's been starting to get a little bit of varsity playing time. Played the opening set in her Huntington win here about a week ago.
Inside, Detweiler, a nice swing. She gets the kill.
So tough to stop when they go that quick. Yeah, Burns had made the adjustment on the block once late in that first set, but when Detweiler gets up there that quick and sets on target, that's hard to stop.
Sowers goes to Burns near side. She's blocked up top by Detweiler. Sherman's tied at 3.
He's always been a factor here early on. Had 3 kills there in the first set, already a kill and a block here to tie us at 3 in the second set.
Sowers goes backside. Here's Burns once again. It just does get over the tape. Near side, it's a roll shot from Grubbs. Back to the Warriors now. Sowers inside and a roll shot from Burns. Bump set from Batson near side. Grubbs swinging away, but she's blocked by a Wisecup. And it falls out of bounds off the Unioto touch. It's 4-3 Adena.
Yeah, outstanding effort from the senior Wisecup. Again, we're going to do a segment on overtime this upcoming week talking about kids who don't get enough credit, and a lot of these role players from Adena would fall into that category.
Shermans let the serve sail over the back line. A service error for Adena, and we're tied at 4. Very similar beginning to this set as we saw in the opener.
Probably haven't seen Adena lack some of this efficiency since opening day against South Webster early in that match.
Libby Anderson serves it away for Unioto. Out of the back row, it's a free ball over by Dalton. Batson bats it over on the second touch, and Glandon does the same. On the outside, White swinging away. It's blocked by Burns up top. Detweiler back over to the Warriors now. Here's Burns inside. She's blocked. It's Detweiler once again. Kayla White in on the block as well for the Shermans.
Yeah, big time effort on both sides. Young girls watching, just watch how Detweiler and Burns, they play their defensive spot and then they get right off the net and get ready to hit. Just great effort on both sides there.
Bossert keeps it inside, swinging away. It's Caroline Glandon. It nearly falls in. DuPois keeps it alive. Now White on the outside. Glandon the block. Now back to Unioto. White another swing, and it's dug up by Jones. Now Jones on the outside with an attacking opportunity. It's dug up by Anderson. Near side, White once again, but an attacking error for the senior falls on the Sherman side, and we're tied at 5.
In that possession, I felt like Detweiler got stuck at the net a little bit longer. Got to go be a factor.
Bats into White. She rolls it over to Adena. Now Bossert to Burns out of the back row. It's into the net. 1 point advantage for Unioto.
So now Detweiler back to serve means Dennis will now come across the front row. Stanley, the libero, passes for those two.
Bossert goes down the middle. Jones is blocked. That's Dennis for Unioto. Now on the outside, it's Glandon into the back row, and she gets the kill.
Nice job from Glandon. Take advantage of her swing.
Anderson to Batson, near side. It's Dennis down the line for the kill.
One of the real young elite athletes in the league. Charlotte Dennis, just a sophomore. Out there on the outside, she when she high points that, she's really athletic at 6'1". Just goes over top the block.
Bossert goes backside. Here's Jones blocked up top. That's the senior, Kayla White. 8-6 Unioto.
Yeah, White's had a great start to the match. Defensively, he's just been involved in a lot of different points for Unioto.
Overpass for Medina. Here's Stanley, bumps it to White on the outside. Now Bossert on the second touch. It's dug up by Batson. Stanley to Watson. She's blocked by Jones, and one too many touches for Unioto makes it 8-7.
Nice job by Jones. Shoulders square, hands up, making sure it stays out of the net, and then goes up and plays the ball. A lot of blockers do. He just kind of go up there and throw the hands up there. You want to go up there and actually play the ball.
Batson goes backside on the outside. It's White. Into the back row. Sowers goes to Smith, far side. It's dug up by Anderson. Now Batson to White, another attacking opportunity. It nearly falls in. Here's Dennis on the block and back over to the Warriors. Roll shot far side for Smith. And a free ball over by Stanley. Sowers goes inside. Lee Master swinging away, but it's blocked by Dennis, and it falls inbounds. It's 9-7 Unioto.
We're seeing some really elite net defenders here in the match. A lot of activity, a lot of effort. Open net's hard to come by here for hitters in the first set and a half.
Sowers goes to the outside. Here's Lee Master off of one leg. Now Batson near side for Corey Grubbs. She gets the kill.
Yeah, Grubbs, the freshman. Nice swing there, sneaks it down inside the block, and Coach Smith's going to use a timeout.
First timeout tonight for Adena. Crowd has certainly not diminished at all here in the second set.
No, and this is exactly what Unioto needed. They needed to spark their student section over there a little bit. You know, you're up 10-7, you're going to come out of this timeout. And this is where Unioto's really got to challenge itself not to have those laws where they, you know, go through those 5 or 6 point spurts where they kind of lose focus. Let's see if they can come out here and separate themselves and put Adena away in this second set.
14-0 Adena, 13-2 Unioto. Coming into tonight, Adena a 27-game win streak in the regular season. This season they're 36-3 in sets played. Losses to South Webster, Zane Trace, and Minster. Warriors have not dropped a set in the month of September. Out of the timeout, it's the sophomore, Kylie Puckett, to serve it away. Bump set from Sowers on the outside. It's Wisecup who pushes it over with two. It nearly falls in, but instead it'll be Stanley on the free ball. Sowers goes to Lee Master, swinging away off the top of the tape, and it falls out of bounds.
Yeah, and again, all made possible because the block's up there to kind of maybe change her approach. Maybe not where she wanted to go with it.
Largest lead of the night in both sets for Unioto. Here's Smith inside, dug up by Puckett. Batson on the outside to Watson, dug up in the back row by Dalton. Smith, another attacking opportunity. Batson digs it up for Unioto. Now Puckett, a bump set over to Grubbs. Roll shot for Adena is into the net. 5-point lead now for Unioto.
Great job of Unioto coming out of the timeout and continuing to push. Got Burns stuck in the back row, and Unioto's depth able to take advantage.
Sowers goes backside. Here's Leemaster. Shermans keep it alive. Dennis out of the middle gets the kill.
You can sense the body language of Unioto here a little bit. Again, with Burns in the back row, it's one of those where it's not good enough just to outscore him a point or two. You got to really make a run, and Unioto's doing that.
Sowers sets it up in the middle, but nobody's home. Costly miscue offensively for Adena, and they're going to take a timeout. 14-7 here in the second. Unioto leading Adena.
Well, 10-7, they called the timeout. Now 14-7, they'll try another one. And Adena certainly just rattled a little bit, completely out of system. Not like them to not be able to serve, receive on target. And these are a couple rotations where they don't have as many threats at the net, especially this particular rotation they're in. And as a result, Unioto's depth is starting to take over a little bit. Grubbs has had a swing here. Dennis has been involved, and so far so good for Unioto here in the second set.
14-7, Unioto leading Adena here in the first. If you're just now tuning in, it was a 25-20 set one win for the Warriors. Out of the timeout again, it'll be the sophomore Kylie Puckett to serve it away for Unioto. Here's Puckett, she bats it away. Smith goes to Wisecup, puts a free ball back over to Unioto, backside to Watson. She's blocked by Leemaster, back to Unioto now, and a roll shot from the freshman Corey Grubbs. Sowers goes to Leemaster inside, Stanley with the dig. Now bats it to Dennis with the left hand, that one's dug up by Sowers. Leemaster, another opportunity, this time she sticks it in for the kill.
Yeah, much needed for Adena. Again, that's that sixth rotation where Burns and Jones are not opposite of each other. So what happens in that one rotation, they really need offensive production from someone else, and there Leemaster is able to give them a swing.
Gets Burns back into the front row as well. And an attacking opportunity near side for Grubbs.
See if J.C. Smith at 97% can serve, can maybe get something going for Adena.
Batson goes to the backside. It's Dennis flying down the line for the kill. 15-9, Shermans here in the second.
Really good sequence for Dennis with her three rotations across the front.
And an ace for Unioto. Alyssa Stanley, that's her 26th of the season.
Yeah, she's been really good here in the opening set and a half, Dewey. Thought defensively she really did some nice things in that first set.
Sowers goes to Burns, far side. She rolls it over to Unioto. Now Batson to Watson on the outside, off the tape, and it falls on the Sherman side. It's 16-10.
Again, an example of Wisecup simply being in the right spot.
Batson goes to Detweiler inside. She's blocked by Burns. Back to the Shermans now. Free ball sent over by Detweiler, but it falls in.
Yeah, Adena just a little bit deer in the headlights, slow to react, and you can just feel it. You can just feel it in the body language. You can feel it a little bit in the energy. Unioto really believes here, and they've got to be able to hold on here and get this match even to 1.
Sowers tight to the net, brings it back into play with Burns. She floats it over the net, now bats into Grubbs on the outside into the back row. That one's dug up by Smith. Here's Burns, soft touch, diving effort from Puckett, keeps it alive on the outside. Grubbs swinging away. Warriors keep it going. Here's Katie Burns inside and a dig from Stanley. Free ball sent over to the Warriors. Sowers goes to Burns down the middle for the kill.
Obviously, in years past, you'd have had a couple violations there within that rally, but the way they go about it now, you can pretty much do whatever on your own side as long as you don't send the ball over the net with an illegal hit.
Batson goes to Detweiler on the outside, but she sails it over the back line. It's 17-12.
Yeah, and I live with that if I'm Unioto, because Detweiler's been really, really aggressive here tonight. You don't want her to lose that.
Bump set from Batson. Grubbs on the outside off the tape. Gonna rule no block for Adena. 4 touches for Unioto.
Back-to-back hitting errors from Unioto cuts it to 4 here. If you're Unioto, you don't want Adena any closer.
Bossert floats it over the net, nearly drops it in for the ace. Here's Detweiler down the middle. She's blocked by Burns. Near side, Grubbs pushes it over with 2. Bossert goes to the outside for Jones. She does the same. Bats it across the court, and an attacking error for Grubbs. Timeout, Unioto.
Really like this timeout. Sometimes coaches will let it get too close. And the big reason I like it is because 3 of the last 4 points now have been errors from Unioto, kind of gifting the point for Adena. But give Adena's block credit. A lot of times, as I said throughout the early part of the match, just the block being there sometimes changes the idea of the hitter and can force them to try to do too much.
First time out of the set for Unioto. Adena has already used their first 2. They called their first, I believe it was 14-10. They called their second at 17-10, and since then they've rattled off 4 consecutive points.
Yeah, Dewey, we saw a little bit of this in the Chillicothe-Miami Trace match we did here recently. Don't you feel like this is a set that obviously Unioto needs not to fall down 2-0, but just from a mental standpoint, they've really outplayed Adena there for a big stretch of it. Yeah, this would be one that would really work on their psyche if they would let it get away.
So out of the timeout, it'll be the sophomore Allie Bossert to serve. Batson goes front side. Detweiler inside, gets the kill.
Nice adjustment from Zoe Detweiler, the senior. Much needed point out of the timeout there for Unioto.
Bossert from the attack line goes to Jones on the outside. Now bats into White near side. It's blocked but falls on the Warriors side.
Just like that, Unioto out of the timeout stretches the 3-point lead back to 5. Now it's danger time for Adena.
Bossert goes backside, tight to the net. It's Unioto, tips it over. That's Kayla White. The set from Bossert trickled over the net. The senior Kayla White right there for the kill.
Yeah, White's been terrific as well. She's had her fingerprints all over the net play tonight with both kills and blocks.
Sherman's the first to 20 here in the second. Bossert keeps it near side. That's Burns. Now on the second touch, it's Batson back over to the Warriors on the outside. J.C. Jones swinging away, dug up by Libby Anderson. Near side, another swing for White, but it's blocked. That's Caroline Glandon and Katie Burns defensively for the Warriors.
Great job from Glandon. Love how she gets the hands out over the net, plays the ball, stays out of the net.
Batson goes backside on the outside. Zoe Detweiler spikes it down for the kill. But it looks like they're going to call the Shermans for a violation. Had her throwing the ball.
Yeah, well, it is. It's a really tough call. And again, the only time they'll even think about calling that in today's game is when the ball's going over the net. Certainly looked like she was up over top of the block. They felt like she threw it down.
Batson goes right back to Detweiler, and this time she sticks it in.
Good composure from Unioto, good composure from Detweiler. Once the call's made, there's nothing you can do about it. You've got to play on, and she comes right back and delivers and puts them back up 5.
Tied to the net, Bossert keeps it near side. That's Glandon, dug up by Batson. Bump set from DePoy, near side, it's White. She's blocked by Jones. Now it's Batson who sends it back over to Adena. Down the middle, it's Jones. Back to Unioto now. Batson goes to Dennis inside. She's blocked by Jones. Jousting matchup. Top, it's won by Dennis, and she gets the kill.
Great effort from Jones on the defensive side, but Dennis just stays with it. And again, 6'1", athletic, long. She just able to get it at its highest point and toss it over to the left side inside the line for the point.
22-16 Unioto. Bossert to Jones inside. Collision in the back row for Unioto. Allows it to fall in.
Like the effort from Unioto there. As a coach, you certainly will live with that before you have the alternative of 2 people staring at each other and the ball falling in the middle of them.
Batson goes backside. Here's Kayla White swinging away. JC Smith on the block, and it's Batson over on the second touch. Jones inside, dug up by DePoy. Now Batson back to White. She rolls it into the Warriors' back row. Bossert to Jones, dug up by Unioto, but it'll fall in. Nobody home after the pass, and it's 22-18.
Nice little spark for Jones here, back-to-back kills, and Farrell will continue to serve.
Batson goes to White on the outside. Now the Warriors offensively, it's a roll shot far side, it's blocked. Kinsley Batson comes up defensively, but she appears to be limping a little bit along that far side.
Yeah, looked like she got the piece of it there. She comes down and the ankle there, and you could tell as soon as she had come down, they went into their celebration, and she was feeling it a little bit. Obviously, that would be just an awful blow for not just Unioto, but really for just the match. The outstanding sophomore setter does such a good job running that 5-1 offense for Coach Patterson.
So Batson will remain in the match, and she's back to the service line for Unioto. It's 23-18. Bossert goes backside. Here's JC Jones blocked up top. Back to the Warriors now. Charlotte Dennis defensively for the Shermans. Batson goes right back to Dennis into the back row. It's dug up by Burns. Dalton goes to Smith, far side. The roll shot dug up by Unioto. Here's Watson on the far side on the attack. Lee Master sets it up. Jones with a roll shot, kept alive by the Shermans. Dennis inside for Unioto for the kill. Set point coming up for the Shermans. It's 24-18.
Yeah, Dennis has really come alive in the second set. Only 1 kill in the first set. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unofficially here in the second set.
Batson serves it away. And just outside that far line, it's 24-19 off the service there. Shane, this is a similar spot we saw Chillicothe and Miami Trace, I believe, in that 4th set, or it may have been the 3rd set last Tuesday, where Chillicothe struggled to close it out after leading 24-20 in that set.
No, you're right. I'm trying to think. I think it might have been the second set when they were up 1-0, and as a result, Miami Trace went up 2-0.
Batson goes backside. Here's Kayla White, who's blocked. Lee Master defensively, and it falls out of bounds off the Unioto touch.
Another staple of Adena. They're obviously not in this spot very much with the other team having 24, but they're going to make you earn it here. Good defensive play from Lee Master.
Despite the score, you almost feel like the pressure's on Unioto just to close this one out.
Yes.
Batson bump set to the outside. Dennis into the back row. Kept alive, Lee Master on the attack, but she's blocked by Dennis. And that'll put a cap on the second set.
I think they're going to call interference here.
Might have Dennis up over the net.
Unioto furious with the call, and that's going to go from a 25-20 win to 24-21. And again, Unioto's got to stay composed right here because you got to be able to finish it.
Violation against the Shermans makes it 24-21. Batson goes to Dennis near side off the top of the Adena block. Bump set from Sowers. It'll be a free ball over by Dalton. Attacking opportunity for the Shermans. Here's Dennis down the middle, but she's blocked. That's Peyton Lee Master defensively for the Warriors.
Yeah, Wise Cup, Lee Master both there. And
a timeout for Unioto, their second of the set.
And again, the timeout will just kind of help settle things a little bit. Really, really tough call there. It goes against Unioto, but as I said earlier, one of the hardest things to do in coaching, certainly hard for teenagers to do as players, is to kind of immediately put that to the side and go play the next point. And look, Unioto had great opportunities there. They went to the hot hand of Dennis, and she had, 2 or 3 really good swings. But what we've seen here now is some outstanding net defensive play. Lee Master, Wise Cup involved. We've seen Glandon do a nice job at the net. So if you're Unioto, still in control of the set, but certainly don't want to see this get any closer. You're going to start to feel the pressure.
I believe 24-19 was the widest it got here in the second. Coming down the stretch. Now 24-22, 3 consecutive points for Adena. The Shermans hoping to close this one out and tie the match at 1 set apiece. It would be just the 4th lost set of the season for the Warriors. Batson keeps it inside. Watson swinging away. Warriors keep it alive far side. Here's JC Smith into the back row. It's dug up by Stanley. Batson to White near side. Now Wise Cup goes to Lee Master, dug up by Anderson. Tight to the net, Dennis with the left hand, sticks it in. 25-22, the final here in set 2.
Kind of fitting that it's Dennis there. She had a big second set there with 6 kills in the set, and Unioto able to even the match.
For just the 4th time this season, the Warriors have dropped a set. It's 1-1 after 2. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly, or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Back here at Unioto High School, the Shermans take the second set to tie the match at 1 set apiece. Energy has not left the building on either side, Shane.
It is not, and I credit Unioto for how aggressive they've played. Even through some of the early errors, they've continued to serve tough. They've continued to attack. And as a result, we've seen something out of Adena that we just haven't seen much this year. They've struggled to pass the ball on target. Okay, so the domino effect of that, Dewey, is this. You don't pass the ball on target, Now your setters are running all over the place, and they're coming off the net a little bit more than they're used to. Well, now all of a sudden the setters haven't been as accurate, and as a result, you don't get the consistent attack. So everything's that domino effect, and I give a lot of credit to Unioto for staying aggressive, and they're able to come back. I thought the big thing there in the second set was Charlotte Dennis. Detweiler had the 3 kills in the opening set. She was really involved. She had 4 more there, but Dennis only had 1 kill in that opening set. Now she comes back and gives you 6 there in the second set, and I thought that was a big factor because she's up there as Burns is in the back row, and those are the rotation spots that Unioto really dominated.
And Kayla White has also had an outstanding night through a couple of sets as well.
Glad you said that, because the stat sheet doesn't even do her justice. I have her about for 4 kills, which is solid. She's been involved in about 3 block plays. But I agree, her energy and just some of her play at the net has been infectious and kind of spread throughout her team.
Now for Adena, Shane, here in the third set and beyond, what has to change for them?
Well, you got to breathe a little bit. You got to. You obviously it's not a talent issue with them. It's just you got to compose a little bit, and you've got to go back to the basics and just try to pass the volleyball on target. And if you can do that, you can get Burns involved. Right now, they're really getting hurt in that 4th, 5th, and 6th rotation. So let's see if they can find someone to step up and give them some offense. There in the one spurt where they played really well, Jones did provide some offense. But remember, you have the 1 rotation where you do not have Jones, nor do you have Burns in the front row. And they're going to have someone step forward there and make sure they don't get stuck in that spot.
It'll be Stanley back to serve for Unioto. The third set is underway. Sowers goes to the far side. Katie Burns swinging away, but an overpass for Unioto. Sowers goes right back to Burns, takes a bit off of it this time, and it's dug up by Batson. Detweiler on the second touch. Burns right back over on the first far side. It's Grubbs into the back row. Now on the far side, Wisecup pushes it over with 2. Batson to Patterson near side. It's off the tape. Looks like they must have had an Adena block. It was about 6 touches for Unioto. Here's Burns offensive lane, and it will fall in. Just nearly got over the tape. Unorthodox rally to begin the third, but it's Adena who takes a 1-point advantage.
Yeah, and it is, and they just stick with it as they always do and get the point, but give a lot of credit to Puckett and company in the back row, just making Burns work and forcing her to swing multiple times to get the kill.
Dalton serves it away and gets the ace. 43rd of the season for the junior. Second here tonight.
Yeah, it's that late action. You don't know if you should let it fly, and that late action finds some real estate inside that back line.
Batson keeps it inside. That's Detweiler. Now a bump set from Dalton, far side. Glandon a roll shot. Now Batson comes to Patterson near side. It's blocked by Burns. Detweiler just does get it over on the free ball. Burns on the second touch sends it over to Unioto. It's Grubbs back over on the first. Now Burns floats it back to Unioto. Batson goes to Detweiler inside for the kill.
Dean asking for the same call they got earlier. That time I thought Detweiler didn't let it rest as much, and no call, which I think is the correct call, and Detweiler gets the kill.
Sowers goes to Burns inside for the kill. Katie Burns, another nice swing, and it's a 3-1 Adena lead.
Well, and there's an example of what you get with the pass on target. The set becomes exactly where it's supposed to be, and from there you let Burns do her thing. So if you're Adena, it just starts with getting back to the basics.
Batson from the attack line, bump set for Patterson far side. Now Bossert goes to Jones along the line. It's dug up by Stanley. Batson to Patterson near side. It's blocked back over to the Shermans now. Batson goes right back to Patterson. She pushes it over with 2. Dig from Jones. Inside, a soft touch from Burns. Nice play from Puckett to keep it alive. Detweiler into the back row. Bossert goes across the court to Jones. It'll be a free ball over by Patterson. Burns down the middle, floats it over to the net. Now Batson goes to Detweiler, blocked by Burns. It stays on Adena's side. Here's Burns on the attack left side. And a violation against Adena.
So now you're going to have this back and forth, and it's just where we're going to live the rest of the night. And we'll just see how consistent they get with it. And as a result, both teams are going to have to adjust a little bit.
One of the longer rallies we've had tonight. Ends in a violation against the Warriors. It's 3-2.
And right now what the back and forth is, Dewey, is where hitters kind of, instead of hitting the ball, they kind of catch it and throw it. And there's a real fine line there, and we'll see where they settle in on it. I don't know how they're going to call it.
Burns near side, Patterson with the dig. Batson goes to wide into the back row. Smith digs it up for the Warriors. Jones swinging away, far side into the net. It's 3-3. Shane, I believe we've had a 3-3 tie through the first 6 points in all 3 sets.
Yeah, it's been really competitive, and Adena took off there in the middle of the first set. Unioto took off a little earlier in the second set and then was able to hang on.
Service error for Ava Patterson. 4-3 Warriors. Batson goes to White near side. Now Bosser to Jones inside, dug up by Stanley. Batson right back to White. She pushes it into the back row. It's Burns for the dig. Now Jones swinging away down the middle. She gets the kill.
Exactly what Adena has to have here. Unioto was able to withstand the 3 spots across the front row for Burns. Now she goes back to serve. These are the rotations Unioto needs to win.
Bump set from Batson, far side. It's Detweiler. Nice play from Dalton to keep it alive. Now Smith swinging away, nearly gets the kill, and eventually it'll fall on Unioto's side. 6-3, Adena leading Unioto.
And again, Burns impacting a little bit with the serve. Unioto not quite able to get on the aggressive attack.
White sends it over on the free ball. It nearly falls in. Jones inside. Batson with the dig. Now Stanley, a bump set to White outside. On the second touch, Bossert tries to sneak it in. Now White on the attack for Unioto. She's blocked by Glandon. Back to Unioto now. Right back to White this time. She gets it up over the tape for the kill.
Solid night for White continues. Again, I thought Adena missed a few opportunities there. Again, the serve had Unioto out of system, but then once the rally continued, they got back in system and White got a swing.
6-4, Adena leading. Bosser diving in a free ball over by Smith. Batson tight to the net. Dennis inside, dug up by Bosser. Another opportunity for Smith. The diving Zoe Detweiler keeps it alive and a free ball over by White. Bossert goes to Jones inside. It's blocked by White and Dennis, but a free ball over by Adena. Batson goes to White near side into the back row. Dalton digs it up for the Warriors. Now Glandon swinging away. Out of the back row, it's a roll shot that just does get over the net from Detweiler. Now Jones on the attack, sticks it in the back left corner. She gets the kill.
Great defense back and forth. We're seeing some really good effort at the net, and we're getting a lot of touches, and we're getting a lot of good coverage where blocks are in play, and the coverage is there to pop it back up, and finally Jones gets an offensive swing to get the kill.
Stanley goes to Dennis down the line. Dennis gets the kill.
These are the 2 rotations right here. The one we're on and the one that will follow this is where Dennis and company, or right where we're rotating now, I guess is that's the latter one I'm referring to, where Unioto has really been able to be successful in terms of some runs.
Bossert keeps it inside. That's Jones. Shermans get it over on the second touch. That's Batson. Back to Unioto now. Batson goes to Grubbs, far side. She's into the tape.
Sowers into serve. Remember, in a 6-2 offense, Sowers will serve, and she'll set across these 3 back rotations.
Grubb sends it over on the free ball for Unioto. Now Sowers, Leemaster down the middle. White near side, dug up by Dalton in the back row. Overpass is sent right back down. That's Charlotte Dennis. But it looks like that up official. They're going to get Dennis once again.
I'm going to say she came over the top and interfered with the play. And again, the rally scoring swing, instead of 8-6, you go to 9-5. That's a big call.
Batson bump set for Dennis up over the tape. She gets the kill.
Puckett in the serve. She's done a nice job in the back row tonight, been very active.
Sowers goes to Wisecup. She pushes it over with the right hand. Near side, it's Patterson swinging away, dug up by Dalton. Leemaster inside, floats it over to Unioto. Dennis another swing, a nice play from Dalton to keep it alive momentarily, and it'll be a free ball over by Sowers. Bats into Dennis down the middle. Nice play from Sowers to keep it alive. Far side with the left hand. Smith is blocked by Grubbs, and it'll fall on Adena's side.
Yeah, Adena tried to do a little too much with the one ball, and it kind of got pushed all the way out there, and Smith kind of got caught in no man's land.
Sowers to Smith near side with the right hand. She gets the kill. Warriors the first to double digits here in the third.
Again, Unioto's wanting the same call there. And again, that's what we're going to have the rest of the night. You know, we're going to have a little bit of back and forth there, and kids have just got to keep playing.
Batson comes to Patterson near side. Now Sowers to Burns inside with the right hand. It's dug up by Puckett. Batson to Patterson down the line. She gets the kill.
Patterson, a senior, swinging there on the strong side. Good outside attack. I believe Adena was +2 to this point with Burns across the back row. So now as she returns to the front, let's see if Adena could go on a run.
Sowers front sitting for Burns into the back row. Burns gets the kill.
Just that first time here in the third set, Dewey, where I feel like Unioto's got to really answer the bell. You got Burns returning to the front row. They did a nice job the first time through. They need a repeat here.
Patterson rushing near side, able to get the second touch back to the middle of the floor on a free ball over by Unioto. Here's Burns inside for the kill. Back-to-back kills for Katie Burns. It's 12-8.
All starts with the tough serve from Dalton. Remember, Dalton had a couple errors earlier. She stayed aggressive here. Let's see if she can keep the efficiency.
Free ball sent over by Grubbs. Wisecup to Burns inside, a soft touch. Nice play from Puckett to keep it alive, and another free ball over by the freshman, Corey Grubbs. Sowers to Burns, down the middle, another kill for the senior.
Timeout, Unioto. And Dewey, this is all made possible by the tough serving of Dalton. Remember, it doesn't always have to be an ace. Sometimes it just gets him out of system. The last 2 or 3 swings from Burns have been a direct result of Unioto being forced to free ball back over. Burns gets a couple good swings, and just like that, it's 13-8. And this is what I was talking about, as Burns returns to the front row and announces that presence immediately. Unioto's got to answer. This third set's going to get away from him.
RBI double for Will Benson. 1-0 lead for the Reds in primetime. 13-8. Adena leading Unioto here in the third. If you're just now tuning in, Adena took the opening set 25-20 before Unioto answered back in the second set. It nearly got away from them. They led 24-19, eventually won the set 25-22. Couple of violations and strong defense for Adena kept them in it. They now lead the Shermans 13-8 here in the third set.
The junior, Kimmy Dalton, obviously known for her incredible defensive play, wearing the different shade of blue night in, night out for Coach Smith. Also can do it with the serve.
Service there for Kimmy Dalton.
And again, that's that balance we talked about. So comes out of the timeout. If nothing else, the timeout gets her off the service line and cuts the lead to 4. Now with the poi going back, statistically, this has pretty much been the top rotation for Unioto throughout the year in terms of scoring.
Sowers to Burns inside. It's dug up by Stanley in the back row. Now Patterson on the attack and a dig from Smith. Sowers goes right back to Burns. Takes a bit off of it this time, but Unioto keeps it alive. Here's Patterson down the line for the kill.
Nice little spark from Patterson. Her second kill here in the third set.
And nobody home for the Warriors for that third touch. Costly miscue offensively for the Warriors, and it's 13-11.
Yeah, Coach Smith not very happy there, rightfully so. And talked about this being a successful rotation for Unioto. DePoy continues to serve.
Burns will send it over on the free ball. Back to Unioto now. Batson to Detweiler inside. Warriors keep it alive. A nice play from Sowers and a roll shot from Glandon that nearly falls in. It'll be a roll shot for Patterson that doesn't get over the net. And the lead's back up to 3 for the Warriors.
Now it's Bossert back to serve, and she'll become the setter across those 3 back rotations. Her and Sowers share that responsibility.
Patterson rushing over, but she's not going to get there. An ace for Allie Bossert, her 20th of the season.
And again, Adena right back in that middle area where Unioto's dangerous time for them in terms of this third set.
Back-to-back aces for Allie Bossert. Nobody home in the back row for Unioto. It's 16-11.
I'm going to go to Kepler, the junior, there in the back row. Coach not very happy with serve receive.
Inside, it's Detweiler. Warriors keep it alive, tight to the net. Burns and Detweiler. It's over to the Unioto side and a whistle, and it's going to be a violation against the Warriors. Got to figure somebody was either into the net or over the midline.
Yeah, well, certainly they were in the net. The thing about came down. So good break for Unioto there to get it back to 4.
Bossert keeps it on this near side, and it's Katie Burns with another kill.
Burns really coming alive here now with 6 kills in the third set, and she hits out of that opposite side there on that first ball over the block, just not aware of it. And she had the open net, one of her easiest attacks of the night.
Bump set from Batson near side, it's White. Now out of the back row, Burns swinging away. Stanley the dig for Unioto. Kayla White near side. Now Bossert goes to Jones inside, kept alive by Anderson. Another opportunity for White into the back row and a dig from Burns. Now Smith on the far side, she gets the kill.
Hey, J.C. Smith playing all the way around far more for her defense than her offense, but there's a nice little shot where she finds an opening in the back and rolls it in there for the kill. And just like that, Adena up 6.
Detweiler tries to get it over on the free ball, and she does. An athletic play by the senior. Free ball now for Adena. It's Batson to Detweiler. Near side, she gets the kill.
Outstanding set from Batson there. She pushed it out in front. Oh, and now they're gonna go back, and
looks like they had Detweiler again on that catch and throw motion.
Yeah, and that time, there's a couple I can go with there. That time I didn't see it that way, but again, I don't get a vote, so they're going to go 19-12. And again, one of those two-shot swings on the scoreboard, and that's a big call.
Figure the up official, that's the guy that has the best seat in the house for anything going over the net. So 19-12 here in the third set. The Warriors taking the first one 25-20. Unioto comes back with a 25-22 set 2 win. And currently a 7-point advantage for Adena here in the third.
Yeah, and I thought a big factor was when they went across the back row, Adena was on the plus side of the scoreboard when Burns was in the back row there. I think they were +2, and those have been some rotations there earlier in the match, Dewey, that they really struggled in. So I thought that was a big momentum. Then what happened was Burns returned to the front row, and this time has really been successful. I unofficially have her for 6 kills here in the set. Looks like she's pushed up to around 13 unofficially on the night.
So 19-12, Adena leading in the third. Here's Burns out of the timeout for the Warriors. Bats into Detweiler far side, floats it over to the Warriors now. Casey Jones on the attack. She's blocked by Detweiler, and it'll fall on Adena's side. It's 19-13. Following the kill, it'll be Detweiler back to serve. Second touch from Burns and a free ball sent over by Bossert. Now Dennis inside, she gets the kill. Back-to-back kills for Unioto. So they're back within 5 here in the third.
See if Dennis can really spark him here. She's been really good in the front row.
Bossert goes to Jones inside. Jones able to get the kill. Lead back up to 6 for Adena.
Been a nice night for Jones. We're coming up on the end of the third set, and she's starting to push closer to double digits in terms of kills. I think unofficially now I have her at 9.
Jones, one of those players for the Warriors that stepped into a more pivotal role for them this season and has definitely done it in a big way.
No question.
Batson goes to the outside. It's Kayla White. Now Bossert backside. That's Lee Master for the kill. All kinds of momentum for Adena.
Nice set there. Kind of kept the block off balance and gives Lee Master a nice swing at it. She delivered.
21-14, Warriors leading Unioto. Batson comes near side. Dennis off the top of the tape and a dig from Farrell. Now Jones out of the middle and Anderson with the dig in the back row. White tight to the net, goes to the far side. Nice play from Smith to keep it alive. Now a bump set from Batson. It's White from the attack line into the back row. It's Burns, another dig. Now Jones inside. Tight to the net. Batson over on the second touch, and Bossert the dig for Adena. Back over to Unioto now. It's Batson to Dennis into the back row. Dennis gets the kill.
Yeah, all made possible by the Unioto defense there. Kepler, Stanley, Anderson, all with multiple digs to keep the rally going, and as a result, Dennis gets a swing.
21-15 here in the third. Bossert keeps it near side. That's Jones. Back over to Unioto now. A set from Stanley. Far side. It's White down the line. This one up into the rafters, and it falls. (21-16) now. It's Batson to serve. Bossert keeps it inside for Jones, but on the defense, it's Charlotte Dennis and Corey Grubbs for Unioto.
Yeah, nice job at the net, and again, the 5th and 6th rotation. has been in favor of Unioto most of the evening, and now they're using it to try to get back in this third set.
Bump set from Bossert. They'll go to Jones with the right hand. White with the dig, and Batson into the back row on the second touch. Right back to Jones, this time with a bit less tempo. Far side, it's White. Back to the Warriors now. Bossert goes backside for Lee Master. Overpass nearly, but instead it'll be Dennis on the second touch who gets the kill. What an athletic swing for the 6'1 sophomore.
Yeah, love the way you called that, Dewey. Athletic is right. Again, at 6'1", the ability to have the body control and to still get the swing on it really had the Adena defense off balance.
21-18 here in the third. Timeout, Adena.
And if you chart the rotations and the matchups throughout the night, this is just one that's favored Unioto. They've really got great net play out of Dennis. The back row's been able to keep the ball off the floor. Adena, just uncharacteristically throughout the night, just hasn't passed the ball very well. And as a result, the offense has been hard to come by, particularly in these particular rotation spots.
Certainly tonight on par with just about every match we've had this season. We've been blessed with our early to mid regular season schedule so far on the broadcasting side of things.
Yeah, no question. We picked some really good ones. It's been a real treat to call them with you.
So out of the Warriors timeout, they lead Unioto. It's 21-18. The sophomore setter, Kinsley Batson, will serve it away for the Shermans. And Batson will get the ace. The second time this set, the ball has taken a Unioto bounce off the rafters and it falls in. Shermans have come all the way back within two. Bump set from Bossert from the attack line. It's a roll shot from Jones. Now Batson to Dennis inside into the back row. Smith far side swinging away, nearly gets the kill. Stanley keeps it alive, and a free ball over by Grumps that falls out of bounds.
Yeah, tough point to lose there for Unioto. Outstanding defensive effort from Stanley, and then you make the unforced error, and you get Adena out of that rotation. Now Sowers will return.
Second touch from Anderson, back to the middle of the floor, and a free ball over by Dennis. Lee Master from the attack line nearly sticks it in. The Shermans keep it off the floor, and it's Grubbs who pushes it over with two and sticks it in for the kill.
Yeah, even on some of the free balls, Unioto's been able to send them over in some unique areas, and even those are causing the Adena defense some struggles, and now all of a sudden we're within two.
Sowers goes near side. J.C. Smith with the right hand. Now Patterson on the attack, and a free ball over for Unioto. Second touch from Wisecup. It's dug up by Puckett as Batson pushes it over with two. Sowers goes far side for Smith. Now Batson comes near side. That's Patterson. Smith with the dig. Sowers goes the other way. It's Wisecup with two hands. Batson goes to Dennis inside for the kill.
All the way within one, and again, this is the rotation spot Unioto needs to do it in. They need to keep applying the pressure. All starts with a good serve here from Puckett.
22-21, Adena leading in the third. Sowers goes to Wisecup. She pushes it over with two as Puckett hits the deck. Now Patterson near side, back over to the Warriors now. Sowers to Lee Master inside, nearly falls in as Stanley dives and keeps it alive. Grubbs back over to the Warriors, and she gets the kill. Another one of those swings for Corey Grubbs where you're really just looking to get it over the net and it falls in.
Yeah, and it's Adena's just been scrambling defensively for most of the evening, and Again, it's some incredible defensive effort. I thought Puckett had a one-arm save there where it's just that little extra effort that keeps the ball alive and you play on. Earlier in this rotation, it was keeping a play alive that finally resulted in a big swing for Dennis. That time, like you said, Grubbs probably just kind of a little roll shot over, and that's the second time here she's been able to find something of a hole kind of on a free ball.
I believe it was as wide as 21-15, 21-14. Unioto's come all the way back to tie it at 22.
And remember what we talked about in the second set, where if Unioto would have let that one get away, how crushing that would be. I think you could reverse that role now. I mean, obviously, anytime the match is 1-1, whoever wins the third set has a huge advantage. But if you're Adena, you'd have to feel like 7 or 8 minutes ago you were well in control of this thing, and now all of a sudden you're staring up there at 22-all. It's anybody's set.
Certainly the pressure would be on Adena going down 2-1 in the atmosphere we've had here tonight. 22-all in the third as Kylie Puckett serves it away. And she sticks it in just in front of the back line for the ace. Shermans take the lead, 23-22.
Puckett's been outstanding tonight in her defensive effort. Now she's doing it on the service line.
Sowers from the attack line goes backside. It's Lee Master. Dug up by Stanley now. Bats into Dennis inside. Blocked up top by Lee Master. Back to the Shermans now. Patterson swinging away. Nearly gets the kill. Warriors keep it alive. Smith on the free ball. Here's Batson, goes right back to Dennis. Soft touch, he sticks it in. 24-22, Unioto here in the third.
Great opportunity for the Shermans. You feel like it needed to come from an Adena defensive play. Just not there.
Puckett serves it away for Unioto. Sowers goes to Lee Master, backside. Dug up in the back row by Stanley. Bats into Dennis down the middle. Nice dig from Dalton. Now Burns goes to Smith, far side. First touch from Batson. Bump set from Stanley, and Grums is unable to get it over the net. But they're going to let him play on. That was the fourth touch for Unioto.
They missed it.
Batson to Dennis. She gets the kill. All the controversy you could imagine as Unioto gets away with 4 touches on the set point. And Dennis gets the kill. It's a 25-22 final here in the third.
Yeah, I'm speechless. But again, give Unioto credit because they made the run in the middle of the set. I'm not sure exactly what to state on that one, but give Unioto the credit throughout the set. They got control of the momentum, and they continued to ride it. And as a result, take the 2-1 advantage in the match.
We'll take a break. I think everybody here needs a breather to decompress a little bit. Fourth set coming up. When we come back, you're watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Back here at Unioto. Sherman's come all the way back. Faced a large deficit in that third frame and came all the way back, tied it at 22-all, and eventually won at 25-22. But you go back to that last point and don't know what to make of it.
Well, no, and again, on that last point, I'm not sure exactly what to analyze there. But what I will make sure to say is I don't want that to take away from what Unioto did down, 6-7 points there in the middle of that set. They're staring a 2-1 deficit in the face, and they refuse to go away. And if you go back to our pre-match coverage, if you weren't with us, I talked about, Uniota's depth is their wild card in this particular matchup. They are a team that is capable of going toe-to-toe and beating Adena because of their ability to attack you at all 6 rotation spots, Dewey. So, and I think that has been showcased here, particularly in this 5th and 6th rotation spot, and it's been led by the offense of Dennis and the outstanding defensive play from multiple Unioto players in the back row.
I think we've just about had it all here tonight, Shane. Anything you can imagine that can happen during a volleyball match, it seems like we've had it here tonight, and it's only been 3 sets.
It is, and you said it earlier. We've picked some doozies this year, and anytime we show up to the gym, we plan on staying for 4 or 5 sets. So, yeah, hopefully you're having a chance to watch this one with us, get comfortable, and I think you're going to have quite a bit of fun down the stretch with us.
It's more or less just become the norm this year. I believe since our opening matchup, we've had nothing but 4 and 5 setters, and on the majority side, it's been a lot of 5-set matches.
Well, and we've been fortunate to have a lot of teams that I think are going to play well into the postseason in terms of probably in a lot of areas they're going to play until they see each other in their respective divisions. You know, obviously these two aren't going to, but what I mean by that is, you know, we've seen Adena, we've seen the Wheelersburg. I know I had a chance in person the other day, not calling it, but to see Alexander, to see some of those teams. New Lex is a team that is really good in 5. You and I called Zane Trays. So obviously in all of these divisions, we're going to have some Southeast representation into the Sweet 16 that's going to be quite capable of making one of those Final Four runs.
Figure these conference teams just beat up on each other during the regular season, and it ultimately just builds them up for what should be solid runs come the postseason.
It does. The SVC always is going to battle test you.
The 4th set underway here at Unioto. J.C. Smith serves it away for the Warriors. From the attack line, it's Patterson. She's into the net. Adena takes a 1-0 lead here in the 4th.
The mental challenge here is if you're down 2-1, you're going to naturally have some urgency. If you're Unioto, you can't just assume the 5th set. You want to try to take care of it here. You got to get off to a good start.
And an ace for J.C. Smith. That'll give Adena a 2-0 lead. Kinsley Batson goes front side, dash inside, she gets the kill.
So now Detweiler return there. When you start a set and serve receive, just about every coach will back the rotation up 1, and that's where Dennis got a chance to swing there to start.
Sowers goes backside. Here's Leemaster swinging away. Now a bump set from Puckett near side. Patterson's not there. Unioto asking for the tip. For the violation, they're not going to get it. It's 3-1.
Yeah, Adena did a good job staying disciplined right there in front of the up official.
Bump set from Stanley near side. It's a free ball sent over by Patterson. Burns does the same for Adena, but it'll fall in. 4-1 Warriors here in the 4th.
Again, Unioto's got to really guard against complacency here. They've got to approach this with a little bit more urgency.
Tight serve from Kimmy Dalton. She gets the ace.
We talked about it throughout the night. Timmy has struggled with some errors, but man, she's one that can really, really get it going. She's got a couple aces on the night, up around 36 on the year.
Batson tight to the net. It's blocked by Burns. Adena wanting the tip. Wanting the 4th touch. Nonetheless, Burns going to swing away, and she'll get the kill.
Burns just stayed with it there and went back up, got a swing at it. Great start for Adena.
6-1 for the Warriors here early in the 4th set. Overpass from Stanley. Back to the Warriors now. Sowers to Burns inside. As Katie Burns, a dominant start here in the fourth.
Dewey, really good play from Glandon there to keep it on their side, and that's what allowed Burns to go on the offensive attack. Glandon didn't try to do too much with that first ball in an early timeout. And again, if you're Unioto, just the part you don't like is just maybe the lack of urgency. You know, a program like Adena, number 1 in the state, down 2-1, they're going to come out with all kinds of urgency to start a must-win fourth set. And quite frankly, Unioto didn't match that urgency.
7-1, Adena leading Unioto here in the fourth set. If you're just now tuning in, Adena taking the first one 25-20 before Unioto answered back, winning the second and third sets by finals of 25-22 in both sets. Hot start here for the Warriors.
Slowly but surely, Burns is starting to get a little bit more rhythm into the third and fourth set. I thought Unioto really did some things to make her work hard early. We're now here in the third and fourth set. Her trips through the front row have started to go a little bit better for Adena. They just got to figure out what they're going to do offensively when she goes to the back row.
Out of the timeout, it's Kimmy Dalton to serve it away with a 6-point advantage for the Warriors. That one's into the tape. Lead back down to 5 for Adena. Sowers goes backside. Here's Burns with a soft touch and a dig from Puckett. Now Patterson swinging away into the back row. It's dug up by Dalton. Sowers goes to Glandon far side. She tools the block and gets the kill.
Said it throughout the year in our coverage with Adena. One of the things I love about Glandon and Lee Master and Wisecup and some of those kids at the net is how they're efficient. They take advantage of the opportunities they do get.
Service error for the Warriors. That takes their lead back down to 5.
Yeah, again, it's just been a struggle for Adena in certain areas that they've dominated throughout the year. I think you have to give a lot of credit to Unioto and the pressure that they've applied.
Bossert from the attack line goes near side. It's Katie Burns with another kill.
So now Burns back to serve, so she goes to back row. Adena +6.
And Katie Burns gets the ace. What a fourth set the senior has had so far.
Yeah, no question, and that's what you want here. When your back's against the wall, you want your best players to step forward, and Katie Burns is certainly doing that.
Bump set from Batson far side. Detweiler gets the kill.
So now Dennis returns to the front row, and these have been the matchups here that Unioto's been able to be successful with. Let's see if they can stay sharp enough in their serve to allow that to take place.
Bossert goes far side. Here's Jones. Now Batson to White near side. Just does keep it inside the antenna. Jones out of the middle. An overpass from Detweiler over on the first touch. It's Smith. Back to Unioto now with White. Smith to Bossert. Backside. It's Glandon swinging away. She gets the kill.
Get another nice swing from Glandon, and I thought Bossert made a real nice decision there on the back set as well.
Front setting, Batson goes to Dennis. Didn't look like she got all of it, but nonetheless she gets the kill.
You know, one thing on that outside attack from her, Dewey, is she, at her size, she's able to play off of the net a little bit, and it really kind of hurts the timing of the block. You know, a lot of times I've noticed the block's been a little early or a little late, and it's just kind of a unique attack from a 6'1" athlete.
Front set from Bossert, tight to the net. It's Jones. That one's dug up by Grubbs. Now near side, White swinging away. And Charlotte Dennis gets the kill on the overpass from Adena.
Yeah, and really after a slow first set, the second, third, and now the fourth set as she comes across the front, Dennis has kind of had her way.
Front set, here's Lee Master, who just does hit it up over the tape for the kill.
Much needed point there just to get Batson off the line.
Lee Master had a great night, both offensively and defensively, through 3.5 sets for Adena as well. Here's Courtney Sowers at the line for the Warriors. Batson goes front side. Here's Grubbs near side. She gets the kill.
And that brings Puckett back in. So again, the fifth rotation of Batson serving, the sixth rotation of Puckett serving have been the two that have really favored Unioto.
And nobody home for that second touch. Too tight to the net for Sowers, and it's 12-8.
Again, the serve receive of Adena kind of allowing Unioto back in it.
Sowers goes backside, keeping it on that near side for Lee Master. Bump set from Puckett. Here's Patterson on the attack. Dug up by Smith as Sowers goes to Burns out of the back row, and a dig from Stanley. Now Batson to Patterson. Bounces it off with the Lee Master block. Here Sowers goes right back to Lee Master for the kill.
Again, good production from Glandon, and Lee Master kind of gives a little balance to the Adena attack, and as a result, they're back up 5.
Batson goes front side. In the middle, it's Dennis. Now Sowers to Burns, a bit out of rhythm nonetheless. Gets it back over to Unioto, far side. Here's Grubbs into the back row, and an attacking error for the freshman.
Opportunity lost there for Unioto. Burns, as you called it, kind of out of rhythm. Unioto had a chance.
Batson comes near side. It's Patterson. Nice play from Dalton off the first touch, and Sowers will send it over on the free ball. Batson goes right back to Dennis inside. Warriors on the attack now. It's a roll shot far side from Wisecup. Patterson again near side, up over the tape, and she'll get the kill. Unioto doing just enough offensively to hang around here in the fourth.
Yeah, and we have some long rallies, and it's just really good effort on both sides. And that time she sneaks it in for the kill. And now we got Stanley back on the line.
Service error for Alyssa Stanley. It's 15-9.
A lot of errors for Unioto in the first set. They've really kind of cleaned it up as the match has gone on. That's kind of a tough time for it to rear the ugly head again.
Batson goes to Detweiler inside. Nice play from Sowers as the Warriors get it over on the free ball. Batson right back to Detweiler. Another dig from Sowers. Far side, it's Glandon, but a block from Detweiler.
Job by Zoe there. Defensively blocked for the point on the solo variety.
Sowers comes near side. Here's Burns, another kill for the senior. Batson goes front side. Inside, it's Zoe Detweiler with another kill.
After the real sluggish start here in the fourth set, Unioto's kind of settled into it a little bit. They're hanging around just enough to keep that pressure on Adena.
That 5 or 6 point margin is where we've been at for the last couple of points. Bump set from Bossert, back to the attack line. Tight to the net, it's Detweiler swinging away. Back-to-back kills for the senior Zoe Detweiler.
Yeah, and the theme's kind of been the same throughout much of the evening. The serve receive Adena not as clean as we're used to seeing it, and as a result, not coming on the attack very much, and then that's putting people like Detweiler back on the attack.
Bossert goes front side. Here's Jones down the line. And Jones will get the kill.
Jones now in the double figures on the evening. Kind of keeps her right around that, or pretty much right on that 2.5 kill pace that she's been producing for Coach Smith.
Bats into Detweiler again, bounces it off of the tape and gets the kill.
Yeah, really no excuse for someone like Detweiler. She's obviously option number 1 in that particular rotation, and yet she's getting an open net. There's got to be some sort of resistance there with the block.
Bossert keeps it inside for Jones. She's blocked up top. That's Charlotte Dennis with the impact defensive play. Timeout, Adena.
Great job defensively, Unioto. Again, it's one thing if a role player he gets an open net every now and then because a setter makes a great decision or whatever, but when it comes to knowing kind of who's the number 1 option, and obviously these teams know each other really well, when you know the number 1 option in a particular rotation, you can kind of cheat the block there, and that time Jones goes up and is looking at a pretty big double block led by the 6'1" Dennis.
17-14, Adena leading Unioto here in the fourth set. It was the Warriors in set 1 by a 25-20 final before Unioto rattled off back-to-back set wins, both by a 25-22 final. That third set, the Shermans came all the way back from down 7 or 8 points, rattled off nearly 10 consecutive points to claim that third set.
You can kind of sense the momentum switching when you get into these rotations, and it's kind of a golden opportunity for Unioto here if they can continue to press forward.
Bump set from Bossert, far side. It's a roll shot from Smith, but blocked by Dennis. Now Glandon far side. She's blocked by Dennis once again. Glandon with a bit more juice on it, and it's dug up by Kepler.
I think White got into the net. Well, hit the antenna anyway, so take your pick. Much needed point for Adena just to kind of maintain a little bit of control of the set. You could feel it start to slip away there a little bit.
Back up to a 4-point lead for the Warriors. Ava Farrell back to the line. Bats into Dennis near side. Dennis gets the kill.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about there, where she comes in a little further off the net than maybe you're used to an outside hitter coming. And with her size and length, she's still able to contact it at such a high point. It's coming down at you at a pretty violent angle.
Bossert goes to Jones inside. Another nice play from the sophomore J.C. Jones to extend Adena's lead back to 4.
Yeah, I can't even stress to you how important that is for them to score on that first serve from Batson, because, again, these are rotations they've struggled in, so to get out of that rotation as quick as possible, that's huge for Adena.
Sowers at the line for the Warriors. Batson tight to the net. It's Lee Master who sends it back to Unioto. Now on the attack, Charlotte Dennis gets another kill.
And again, Dewey, another theme of the night's just been Unioto's effort. Their willingness just to stay with it. They pop it up, and you think they're going to at least be able to get it over. Well, Dennis does one better than that. She goes ahead and jumps up there and takes a good swing at it.
19-16 Adena. Tight serve from Puckett, tight to the net, and it flies out of bounds. Unioto all the way to back within 2.
I've seen Unioto play 7 or 8 times this year, and Puckett always does a nice job. I feel like tonight she's really taking her game up a notch.
Puckett goes to the far side. Here's Sowers going backside for Leemaster into the net. Shades of the third set. As Unioto rallies, they're all the way to back within 1.
It really is. It's been the service of Batson and then Puckett and these rotations with Dennis in the front. It's been the spark.
Sowers a bump set far side. Wisecup pushes it over with 2. And a violation against Unioto will award the point to Adena. They're the first to 20 here in the 4th.
Wow, that's one of those. It's one of those errors that not only put them back up 2018, but put them back into their better rotation.
Batson from the attack line comes to Patterson on the outside. Now the Warriors with Sowers to Burns, unable to keep it between the lines. Really the first time this set we've seen Burns unable to get a kill on a swing. She's been dynamite here in the 4th.
Yeah, and again, I just feel like that's the effort and the work of Unioto throughout the entire match, just continuing to try to put pressure on her.
20-19, Stanley serves it away. Sowers to Burns far side in the back row. It's Stanley with the dig. Now Batson to Patterson into Adena's back row. They keep it alive in a bump set from Sowers. Here's Wisecup swinging away. She gets the kill.
What an outstanding swing from the senior there.
One of the first true swings we've seen from Wisecup tonight. And she absolutely capitalized on the opportunity. 21-19 Adena. Stanley back to the near side. It's a free ball over by Patterson. Sowers goes to Burns inside off of the Unioto block and a dig from Stanley. Detweiler back over to the Warriors. Now another swing for Burns and another dig for Stanley. Bump set to Patterson who gets the kill. Both teams to the 20-point margin for the 4th time tonight.
Great swing from Patterson, but put a little star next to a couple defensive plays there from Stanley that allow all that to happen. Couple kills could have fallen there to make it 22-19, but Stanley wasn't having it.
Sowers keeps it near side. Here's Burns, who's blocked by Detweiler. Sowers now goes right back to Burns. She pushes it over with 2 and a bump set from Puckett. Near side, Patterson into the back row and a dig from Smith. Sowers goes back to Burns and a nice dig from the junior Kelty Kepler. Now Patterson is into the net and the lead is back up to 2 for the Warriors.
Yeah, great effort from Kepler there. Again, Unioto continues to compete against the incredible talent of Burns, and 22-20, seeing if you almost just feel like Adena's trying to hang on.
Bossert back to the line for the Warriors. Batson goes to Detweiler inside. She's blocked. That's Katie Burns who gives the Warriors a 3-point lead.
What a big time play from Burns. Yeah, Detweiler and Dennis have been so good throughout the night, really giving Unioto an elite weapon at the net at all times, and then they've been able to complement that when needed with White or Patterson or Watson or Grubbs or whoever it might be, and Batson's done a nice job of spreading the wealth. But right when Adena needed it the most, their All-Ohio senior comes up with a big-time defensive play.
Set finals of 25-20, 25-22, and 25-22 now, 23-20. What a night we've had so far.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And you know, you can just, it's a funny thing of confidence, Dewey. You can almost just sense it in the Unioto girls. Early second set, you kind of feel the momentum start to shift and their confidence went up, and you can kind of tell in their body language now that they believe that they can do this, and that's a big factor. That was one of our keys actually in the pre-match coverage, was getting in this position but then believing that you could get over the hump and do it.
Out of the Unioto timeout, it'll be the sophomore Allie Bossert to serve for Adena. Batson goes to Detweiler inside for the kill.
Great serve receive, allows Batson and Detweiler to go quick. That time getting ahead of the block. Get the kill, 23-21. Pretty much a much needed point there for Unioto. They couldn't afford to go down 24-20.
Anderson sends it away for Unioto. Bossert goes far side. That's Jones who sails it over the back line. And a timeout for Adena.
Good timeout. The points obviously mean, this particular point coming up obviously means too much not to be on the same page and to make sure you understand where you want the ball to go. Anderson on the service line, high efficiency on the year, about 98%, only has a couple aces, but usually will hit her spot. So for Adena, it's all about serve receive. If you can pass it on target, in this particular rotation, Dewey, the first ball over, Burns will be coming out of the opposite side. Jones will be hitting out of the strong side. So as a block, you've got to kind of be aware of that and make sure that you do not give Burns an open net on this first ball over.
Unioto +2 out of their timeout. Laura Smith and Adena would certainly love something similar to push this one to a fifth set.
I would agree with that for you. I'm sure she would.
The sophomore Libby Anderson will serve it away for Unioto. Out of the Adena timeout, they trail by 1.
Let's see if she goes at Burns here to try to make her have to do something before getting ready to hit.
Bossert goes backside. Here's Burns down the line for the kill. Set point coming up for the Warriors.
I think that's what she was trying to do, but a great little adjustment there. Dalton comes over and takes the serve receive. Perfect on target pass, and as a result, Burns gets a hammer.
Now Burns back to the line. She serves it away. Batson goes backside. Detweiler pushes it over with 2 and sticks it inside that back line.
Clever shot from the senior. Had the opening back there. Now she goes back, and now with Burns in the back row, Adena needs someone at the net to step up and make a play for him.
Detweiler to serve for the Shermans. Bossert keeps it inside. That's Jones for the kill, and the Warriors take the 4th.
Just what I was saying they needed. J.C. Jones supplies it. The sophomore at 5'8" goes up in the middle. Not afraid of the moment at all. Big swing, and why not, Dewey? Let's play a 5th.
5th and final set on this Thursday night coming up. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Back here at Unioto for a Thursday night Sound Valley Conference matchup. The Shermans and Warriors headed to a 5th set. Their second meeting, the beginning of the second trip around the league for all teams in the SVC here tonight. And what a way that second trip around the league has started.
Looking at Unioto's lineup here, because again, they have so much depth. They go with some different options at the net. It looks like here they're going to come out with Grubbs. She'll hit strong side. And then looks like Watson.
If you're just now tuning in for this 5th and final set, Adena took the opener 25-20. Unioto with back-to-back 25-22 set wins in the second and third before Adena held on for a 25-23 win in set 4. It's the race to 15 here in the 5th.
And it'll be Dennis. So looks like Adena will have the serve, because it looks to me like Unioto's backed up the rotation one. So obviously the start is always huge in this sprint to 15. So these first couple points, the word I like to use is urgency. You've got to come and treat every single point in a 5th set as a championship point, because let's face it, in terms of the SVC, whatever happens here in the next 15 points, win by 2 is going to have a lot to do with a share, an outright, or who's going to have a chance to do whatever. Adena trying to keep that perfect season alive. We still got Shekinah Christian in the non-league and the rest of the SVC.
27 consecutive regular season wins for the Warriors coming into tonight. The 5th set is underway. And it's Dennis who gets the kill for the Shermans.
So Dennis gets that one swing where they back the rotation up, and Stanley will return to serve in that spot. Unofficially, I believe that was her 21st kill of the night.
Stanley serves it away off the tape, and it falls in for the ace. Alyssa Stanley pushes the lead to 2 for Unioto.
Good break there for Unioto. That's why you always got to follow that ball in flight, just to always be aware of that.
Sowers a bump set. Here's Burns on the outside. She gets the kill.
Pretty good ball there from Sowers, just to get that ball up there to give Burns a chance. And then that's all you got to do sometimes, because the talent of Burns can take over at that point.
Kimmy Dalton back to serve. She's had a great night at the line for the Warriors. Bats in a bump set. She'll keep it on the far side for Watson, who sails it over the back line, and we're tied at 2.
You mentioned the night on the line, and Dalton had some early air issues, and then it certainly has trended up. Let's see here in the 5th set if she stays aggressive.
Tied to the net, a bump set from Batson, and a roll shot from Puckett is spiked right back down by Katie Burns.
Just outstanding awareness. Even on the roll shot from the back row, Burns never takes a play off. Playing with great focus, great energy at all times, and gets the point.
Warriors have caught some fire behind the Dalton serve. They lead 3-2 here in the 5th. Batson to Detweiler inside. She gets the kill, and we're tied at 3.
Back and forth we go, and 3-3, based on what we've seen throughout the night. It's going to be hard to pull away one team from another.
Sowers goes backside. It's Burns again. They have Unioto on the violation. That'll make it a 4-3 Adena lead. Was it over the midline?
I thought they had somebody, in the net or just maybe the foot over the line there.
Batson. It'll be Puckett on the free ball. Now Bossert to Burns inside. She sails it over the near line, but they may have the tip for Unioto, and it's 5-3 Adena.
Yeah, she definitely tooled the block. Went off the left hand of the near side block, out of the double block. The one near us here on your camera view caught the left hand and came out of bounds.
Batson to Detweiler inside. She's blocked by Burns. Kepler keeps it alive momentarily, and a free ball just inside the antenna for Unioto. Bossert goes to Burns. Miscommunication between Burns and Glandon, but Burns is able to sneak it in for the kill, and a timeout for Unioto.
Well, we talked about it earlier, Dewey. You'd like your best players to come to the party when it's much required. And see, I've got Burns, four kills and a block here in the first 6 points. So that's not a bad effort from the senior middle hitter.
For Burns, the first player in Adena's storied and decorated program history to reach that 1,000 career kill mark.
You know, I think what I've always enjoyed about her so much is she's been her very best in some of the more clutch situations throughout her career. Win or lose, it's just she never shies away from the moment, plays really hard. And you can tell the Adena kids have great respect for one another, and I think a lot of that has to start with a great leader like Burns.
So out of the Unioto timeout, it's 6-3 Adena leading. Allie Bossert back to the line for the Warriors. Batson from the attack line in the middle. It's Zoe Detweiler who gets the kill. Very close to one of those catch and throws.
It really is, and that's that situation earlier in the night I was talking about. Yeah, we haven't really seen. We've seen it pretty loose throughout the year. Tonight's by far the tightest they've called it. In that case, they felt like Detweiler got the hand away from it in enough time.
Bossert comes near side. It's Burns off the block. It's Detweiler. Now Jones far side. A roll shot into the net. Unioto back within one.
Again, all made possible by great defensive play at the net. The ball stays alive, and Adena doesn't really have an answer to come back with.
Bossert goes to Jones far side. She sails it over the back line, and we're tied at 6. Shermans are +3 out of their timeout.
Back-to-back hitting errors here for Adena has got us even at 6. And
tight serve from Libby Anderson. Now near side, it's Burns on the swing. She gets the kill.
Big time swing. Adena +1 on the scoreboard as Burns goes to the back row here. This is your opportunity if you're Unioto here. Let's see if it can start with a serve receive. You've got some advantages at the net.
And an ace from the line for Katie Burns. She's just taken over here in the 5th.
She really has, both defense and offense. Now a serve. These are huge points for Adena.
8-6, Warriors leading. It's Detweiler on the attack far side, but it's over the back line. Back up to a 3-point advantage for Adena.
Yeah, right idea. She'd hit that spot just a little bit ago. This time goes a little long on her.
Burns a serve, another ace.
Now going to go back to the poi there for Kepler and the serve receive. That's an adjustment he had made probably about halfway through the fourth set, I believe it was.
Batson goes to Detweiler inside. Warriors keep it alive. It's a roll shot from Burns. Batson right back to Detweiler. This time she sticks it in.
Third kill for Detweiler here in the fifth set. Now she'll go back to serve. She serves for herself. Stanley serves for Dennis.
Bossert inside, goes to Jones. Overpass from Detweiler, back over to the Warriors. Now Bossert right back to Jones. She's blocked up top. That's Charlotte Dennis.
Well, no secret where they're going to go with it there, and the Unioto block was just waiting. Really had about a triple block up there. Dennis, the one in the middle, looked like the one that got it.
Tied to the net. Bossert goes to Jones. It's a free ball over to Unioto. On the second touch, Batson back over to Adena, and it'll fall in for the kill. Unioto back within one.
Great job by Bossert to square the shoulders and pop it up, but then set her play on the other side up to the task as well. Batson takes that second ball over for the kill.
Bossert goes backside into the back row. It's Burns. DePoy to White near side. A roll shot falls in, and we're tied at 10. Timeout for Adena.
That's everything you'd ever want in a championship match. Tied at 10 here in the fifth set. All the momentum in the world with Unioto. They've got the rotation right where they want it. It's just a matter now of seeing if they can finish it.
Both teams have reached the 20-point mark in each set tonight. Now they're both in the double digits here in the fifth.
Big situation here out of a timeout. Being able to execute your serve on the one side. Adena with the serve receive here. You got to figure out where you want to go.
And on top of all of it, Hunter Green threw a complete game shutout.
Hey, we certainly sign up for that.
That's where all the money went. 10-10 tie here in the fifth. Out of the timeout, it's Zoe Detweiler back to the line for the Shermans. Bossert goes to the outside for Smith. Smith able to get the kill. Warriors back out on top one.
J.C. Smith's been a part of a lot of winning. Man, you talk about her team needing her in a big way there. She steps up on the offensive side and delivers a kill, puts them back up one, and still an advantage for Unioto here. If they can pass on target, they have some matchups at the net that favor them.
Farrell's serve just does get over the line. Now Dennis swinging away. It's into the net. And a 2-point advantage now for the Warriors.
Dewey, tough situation there. Again, Dennis has obviously had the hot hand tonight, so you don't question the decision to go to her. But off of that reserve, she wasn't ready to hit.
Batson keeps it on the far side for White. It's dug up by Farrell. Now Bossert into the back row for Burns. Tied to the net, nearly an overpass for Anderson. A jousting match falls to Adena's side. Smith with the right hand. Now Unioto tight to the net, and a roll shot from Kayla White. Bossert goes to Jones inside. Nearly gets the kill. DePoy hits the deck and back over to the Warriors now. Set from Lee Master. Jones swinging away. Soft in the middle. She gets the kill.
Yeah, pretty good effort from Unioto on 3 or 4 occasions. Adena just stays with it and gets the point. About 2 or 3 Unioto kids knocked into each other there a little bit. Did we get a timeout on the floor?
I believe Unioto used their second timeout of the fifth. So far, Shane, the trend here in the fifth has been Adena gets up by 3 or 4. Unioto comes back to tie it. We're certainly on pace for that once again at 13-10.
Well, no question. Again, the momentum swings back and forth, and you just have to stay in the moment and play the point, in the present. And now, if you're Adena, you've got such an opportunity. Unioto all of a sudden struggled in the serve receive a couple times, and they haven't been able to really come on the attack here in these last, 3 or 4 points. They haven't had a legitimate swing. You do have Dennis in the front row, who's had an incredible night. I think I have her up over 20 kills. And Dewey, that's 20 plus kills with someone who didn't play in the first 3 rotations. So throughout the night, you don't always get as many opportunities. So here, let's see if they can pass on target. Let's see if Batson decides to kick it outside here to Dennis.
Batson goes backside. It's White down the line. Now Lee Master, a bump set and a free ball over by Jones. Batson goes to Dennis inside off the Jones block. Now Bossert to Jones inside once again. It's dug up by Batson. Bump set from Stanley and a roll shot from White. Back to the Warriors now. Bossert to Jones inside with the left hand. Match point coming up for the Warriors.
Man, that was an athletic adjustment from Jones there. The block was up in her face, and she'd been taking that on a couple times, and that time she just makes an adjustment in the air, goes to the left hand, and brings it near side.
Farrell serves it away for Adena. Batson near side. Dennis with the right hand, and it's off the antenna. Adena's perfect season remains intact.
What an unbelievable volleyball match. Unbelievable. And again, the confidence you take, Dewey, from it if you're Adena is some of the rotations that had really cost you throughout the evening are the ones that you're able to put the match away with some great play at the net there from Jones, and just 2 teams, really, really good volleyball teams that are going to go on to do some things here in the second half of the year. But as you said, if you're Adena, you're still chasing that perfection.
A 15-10 final in the fifth set. Adena rallies back from down 2-1 to win the match 3-2. What a night in the South Valley Conference. We'll take a break. You've been watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
We welcome you back to Unioto High School. What a night of SVC volleyball we had on tap. Adena remains unbeaten on the season. They're now 15-0 overall, 8-0 in the SVC, and they've won 28 consecutive regular season matches. What a night.
Yeah, it really was. You know, we'll get to the stats in a second, but first I think a match like this just deserves a little bit of reflection. I know just kind of sitting here, the word I would use is I just really enjoyed it. You know, I mean, it was just very entertaining. Even when the volleyball wasn't at its best, usually, Dewey, the reason for that was how much pressure the opponent was putting on them. You know, that's probably a situation tonight where I have not watched Adena struggle in terms of passing and setting and some of the different ball handling things. But don't you feel like you have to give a lot of credit to Unioto in terms of how much they just bring at you at the net? They're constantly coming at you with 4 or 5 different hitters throughout a set, and then the sophomore Batson does a really good job of spreading it around. I thought that was the matchup coming in, and I thought that's the way it played out. I thought it was the star power of Adena versus that depth of offensive ability from Unioto, and I think that's what kind of had us in a seesaw matchup in terms of the way the match kind of started to swing depending on what rotation spot we were in.
Both teams back in conference play, so they'll both have the weekend off come next Tuesday. Adena with an interesting one in Frankfurt against Zane Trace. That's one of the, I believe, 4 teams now on the year to take a set from the Warriors, and Unioto will travel down to your place at the what's the name of the gym?
Jigger.
I was going to say the Bricker. Oh, the Jigger, down to the Jigger. They'll have Paint Valley on the road next Tuesday.
Yeah, and again, listen, Unioto's a good volleyball team. They got a lot in front of them to play for. Obviously, this is going to make the league race really difficult because they're going to need 2 of the final 6 SVC opponents to get Adena for them to have a chance to get back into a share situation. But nonetheless, they're ranked pretty consistently in the top 20 of the state throughout the year. Obviously, in the higher division, they're going to play some really good talent in the postseason. But I think we would agree that the non-league schedule they've played and, of course, the SVC grind is going to have them well prepared for that.
And they're 13-3, and 2 of their losses are to Adena and the other one's to Logan Elm, who
not shabby.
Outside of Bloom Carroll would probably be winning that MSL.
Well, I think Logan Elm was ranked 2 in Division 4. So I'll grab some stats here for you. These are way unofficial. When you get into these long matches and so forth, you know, sometimes you need to go to the film to kind of see some of the scoring decisions and so forth. But usually we were able to give you a pretty good snapshot. Katie Burns had 24 kills on the night, and you know someone's really good when you feel like the other team, you know, contained her at 24. Because, and the reason I say that, it's kind of like that great shooter in basketball that you just turn into a volume shooter. They still get their points, you know. But I'll tell you what I loved about her the most is the match moved on and it was clutch and it was winning time. She really stepped to the front and did some great things. I had her at least 4 aces. The aces, are sometimes the hardest things to score statistically by definition. I had her at least 4 of them, with another 2 or 3 really tough ones that led directly to the point that Adena ended up winning. And she also was involved in about 5 different blocks that were for points for Adena. Then I like some of the depth they got. I highlighted on overtime earlier this week. J.C. Jones, the sophomore, she gives 14 kills. Then you get 6 from Leemaster, you get 4 from Smith and 4 from Landon, and then a couple from Wise Cup. I thought they all did a nice job defending the net. Bossert and Sowers on the setting. I thought they had an up and down night, but in their defense, the passing had them scrambling just a little bit. But as always, the defensive effort of Smith and of course Dalton. Even with Farrell back there in the one rotation, she comes in to serve, all contributed to the win. Over on the Unioto side, Charlotte Dennis and Zoe Detweiler, they play opposite of one another, always giving Coach Patterson a great one option at the net, and they certainly delivered tonight with Dennis with 21 kills, Detweiler with, I believe it was 17 I had her unofficially for. And then White and Patterson and Grubbs and even Watson all delivered offensively a little bit. I think Grubbs, Patterson, and White were all at 4 or more kills. And then a couple things I wanted to highlight here on their offensive side as well. Kinsley Batson was outstanding. She comes in around 9.5 assists. I'd be shocked if she wasn't up over that average tonight. I thought she was terrific. And then defensively, Stanley always leads the way, but I really had several stars on my sheet here for Kylie Puckett. I thought she played really, really well, not just with the serve, but her defensive effort in the back row. Throw in an Anderson, throw in Kepler, who came in and played a little bit of time as well. DePoy, as she always does with her serve and passing. To summarize that, there's a long list of really, really good players on both sides of the net. And when you throw that out there and they play as hard as these two teams played tonight, that's how you end up sitting here for a little over an hour and getting a 5-set thriller.
I think when you get into those 5-set matches, it almost makes it to where those players in complementary roles almost have to jump into a bigger role, and I think that's something that was certainly the case here tonight.
Well, and it's so easy. It's so easy to fall in love with the game and be like, it's just fun to watch Burns go up there and hammer away, or Dennis or Detweiler, or even a Jones. I think when you really love the game of volleyball and you break it down, you just appreciate all the little things that happen to maybe keep a point alive or to give them one more swing. And that's what makes volleyball such a great team game. And you got to get contributions from everybody, and these two teams certainly get that. And I think that's why they have proven to be the top 2 teams in the league to this point.
And we saw that early on tonight where the points were almost exclusively coming from attacking errors because the defense was just so good. It forced hitters to get tight to the line, and ultimately it would be a ball outside of the line that were the only points we were getting because the defense was just so tough on both sides, especially early on.
I agree. There just wasn't a whole lot of open real estate to find there to go. And I think what happens, too, when you play elite teams, you go on the attack and you're used to a certain action resulting in a kill. And then it's almost like you can't believe that they just kept that off the floor, or you can't believe that they got a piece of that or whatnot. And that's how you turn into some long rallies. I can't wait to see some of the dig totals tonight because we had some crazy rallies that resulted in probably 6, 7, 8 back and forth. So I'm sure statistically, if you're one of those volleyball stat people, you're going to see some pretty big numbers in this one.
So again, Adena comes out with the win in the 5-set match over Unioto. Warriors are now 15-0, 8-0 in the SVC. Unioto falls to 13-3 on the season and 6-2 in conference play. Again, both teams back in league play next Tuesday. Unioto on the road against Paint Valley. Adena back in Frankfort, where they will host Zane Trace next Tuesday night once again. Shane, it was a pleasure. We got to see another good one here
All
tonight.
kinds of fun. I know we've got some upcoming volleyball options we're still going to sort out there, but we'll have plenty for the fans to follow down the stretch, I know.
All righty, well, that'll wrap it up for our coverage here tonight. For Shane Combs, my name is Dewey Daly saying so long from Unioto High School. You've been watching Ohio High School Volleyball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Let's get out of here.